Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Book Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 30. We back almost at full strength, but regular castmates here, Colonel Crackers, Emiya Starlock, Rick Dom, and I am Book Nice. I guess Pharaoh might join us at some point. Or maybe we'll just bring somebody in from the audience. You know, fuck it.
Ooh,
But,
so many possibilities.
but yeah, what we get this week? Fabio, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh man, it's been a while, but I didn't get to talk to you guys last week because I was actually in the car on my way back from SDCC. But I had a whole big ass haul that I got to go through, so sit back and enjoy. First of all, thank you to Diego, the DMC, who picked me up all of the NECA exclusives. That's the 2 turtle sets, which are really nice. My God, they're really great. If they put those out in regular colors, they will be like the greatest turtle action figures ever made. These, as they stand, are really fucking great. Articulation, sculpt, and everything wise.
They better than the first NECA ones?
Oh, I think so. I think they articulate a lot better. But yeah, you just got to get over that hang up of the pixelated deco on it. But it's really good. Same goes with the foot set. Lots of cool accessories and all that stuff. And in the display that they had at the at SDCC, they hid away a little Krang. Fully sculpted and painted inside the display, so that's a little hint at some future stuff coming from NECA and Turtles. So I got those. I got the Cloak Scar Predator from AVP, which comes with the cool temple hologram that attaches to his wrist computer, and you can put it on pretty much any AVP Predator's wrist computer, which is kind of cool if you want to swap it around. And he has bloody blades. Aside from that, he's completely clear, so it's a cool little piece. I got Newt, which is obviously the big one. Boog, you just told me you got it too. You haven't opened it yet, though, right?
Nope.
It's nice. It's really nice. It articulates well. I was just telling you, and I'll tell everybody else. Just heat it up a little bit. It's a NECA figure, and the joints on it are significantly smaller than most figures. Probably any figure that they've ever made. So maybe aside from those little sisters, but the discs in there are really small, and so are the pegs. So just be careful the first time you're pulling her out of package. And, heat it up a little bit just to make sure you're not, breaking a very sought-after exclusive. Scale's great, comes with cool accessories, goes great with that Ripley. You can get her in that iconic pose. It's a great figure. But my favorite, and I know it's not a NECA figure, so I'm going to get crucified or someone's going to call me out in the comments, but my favorite thing I picked up of all the exclusives was actually that Mezco cap. Oh my gosh. The classic version, he's got kind of a more vibrant blue, and the straps and boots are more completely red than the modern one, which has a little bit more brown undertone to it. Darius did a great review of it on his channel, so go check it out. But it is a fantastic figure. No hang-ups at all when it comes to the clothing and how it impedes the articulation. It's great, guys. Definitely makes you excited for that modern one if you have that one coming in or pre-order or whatever. It looks weird in photos, aside from good A.C.B.A. photos or proper photography, but just looking at it standing there in a photo, on a shelf, just doesn't look that good. It's once you start posing it around and see how when you move the elbows in, or rather the shoulders in, it kind of creases the fabric in a very realistic way. So it's almost looks like it's sculpted in that position. I could gush forever. It's really good. Just be careful with the wings on it. If you do have the classic one, just be careful with the wings because they're not made of a little pliable plastic, little wings on the head. They're not made of a pliable plastic, so they'll snap off if you're not careful. While I was there at the show, I also hit up a couple of vendors that were in the area. One of them is actually a regular vendor that I go to, a Frankenstein, that has a lot of NECA stuff. And I got the Mutavore Kaiju from him, which was the last Kaiju that they're going to be making for the Pacific Rim 1 line. I think they're picking up the license for 2, so we might see more stuff from 2. But as far as 1, this is the last Kaiju, and it's I don't think it was even in the movie. It's a concept Kaiju or something. And that guy also had the Ghostface Killer from Scream, the classic sculpted version, but it has a cloth bottom and fully articulated legs. So I just wanted that for my little horror collection. Once I get a new detolf, they'll be displayed nicely. Then my comic shop, when I got back, they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we got the Spidey Legends in. the Space Venom wave, and from that wave I only wanted Electro and Hobgoblin, so I got to look through the ones that had the best paint jobs. I got myself those two. Really nice. Same gripes we were talking about when the figure wasn't even released yet, and that's the lack of alternate hands for Electro, but at least you get an alternate head, because I don't have any sort of classic Electro, so it'll have to do. Hobgoblin's great. I also got, actually at SDCC, at the Bluefin booth, I got the Freddie Mercury SH Figure Arts, and I promise I'm not going to put him in any like weird pervy poses like Instagram seems to be fascinated with doing. But it's a good figure, guys. I like it a lot. I don't know if you guys are even Queen fans or picked up that figure, but it's really nice. I have an uncle who's a big Queen fan. Sent him a picture of it, and he was laughing at it pretty hard. He had no idea such a thing even existed.
I fucking love Queen, and Freddie Mercury is one of the greatest.
You have an uncle that's a big Queen?
Yeah, Queen, the band from England. Freddie Mercury died in, 92?
One of the greatest vocalists of all time. It's
Absolutely.
pretty much practically impossible to try to sing any of his songs from how crazy his vocals are.
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of my idols growing up, too. I've always been a big Queen fan. Again, through my uncle, who's a huge fan. So he's here in his Wembley attire from that tour, and he has the screaming face, the singing face, and the neutral face, and it's got that same 3D printing technology. And I've got him right here next to my Bruce, and it's kind of cool. I don't know. Got my little SH Figure Arts celebrity collection going on here. Dead celebrities, I should say. What else do they have? Do they have a David Bowie? I'd like to get that one. That'd be
No, they only have a Michael.
Michael, that's the one I need.
Daft Punk and Freddie right now.
Okay, I definitely need that Michael. I'm not a big fan of Daft Punk, but I might wait. I don't know. Maybe you guys can hint this a little bit, but are they ever gonna make a Beat It attire, Michael?
They could.
All right, I might hold out for that because that's my favorite.
They had a pretty cool list of figures for their survey for music stuff. So we'll see if they ever get to most of it.
Okay, I either want him in the Beat It attire with the red jacket and a ton of zippers, or in the bad attire. Either one would be good.
Personally, the only version that I want, because it doesn't actually have a 6-inch scaled figure, would be the version of Billie Jean. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Actually, you know what? My favorite Michael attire is actually when he was starting to become white already, but it's when he had the military epaulettes and the bullet bandoliers across his chest. I forget what tour that was.
Oh God.
It was the 90s. Ah man, someone pipe up in the comments and let me know because that's gonna drive me crazy. And I'm gonna interrupt somebody as they're talking about their stuff, and I'm just gonna shout out the name of the tour. But yeah, that'd be cool. And I also got the Raph set while I was there at SDCC. I picked up 2 sets, one for me and one for one of the Beltran brothers. I don't know which one's actually going to get it. They gave me money for 2 sets, but all right, funny story. They open up SDCC on Sunday. We're there at the top of the escalators, in the little atrium there when they make you go up and around and then sit at the top of the escalator until 9 o'clock and then let you through and back down the escalators to go into the exhibit hall. So I was there against the wall at the top of the escalators hoarding one of the phone chargers that somebody put out there at the outlet. So I was there charging up my phone, getting ready to Snapchat all day. And we were one of the first people through into the exhibit hall, and we power walked it all the way to Hasbro because we wanted to be in that line, obviously, before. My friend was actually trying to get the Star Wars exclusives, so he came out disappointed. But we get there, and we were 7 people away from where they cut off the line and make you go stand against the wall next to the guy with the Kylo Ren lightsaber indicating where he's at. So we're 7 away from that, and my friend's and he's 1 spot in front of me, and he's oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm dude, just fucking wait, we're here at this line, we're about to get called up over here. He's oh no man, that's cool, I'll tell him to save my spot. So he goes and he tells the girl hey, I'm in this line, can I go to the bathroom, can you save my spot? She's yeah, it's fine. What the fuck does she know, right? So he leaves the line, he leaves me with all this stuff, goes to the bathroom, and a minute after he leaves, the person at the front with the Kylo Ren lightsaber is all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, points at me, 7. All right, you guys go up to the main line now. And my friend just gets left behind in the dust, and he comes and meets me when I'm a good ways into the normal line, and he's just what the hell? What happened, man? What's going on? I told her to save my spot. Dude, what the hell does she know? She's just working security here. She's not like the Hasbro person, you know. She's just here like trying to herd sheep. She doesn't give a fuck about you. So yeah, he lost his spot, so he gave me some money like real clandestinely and had me try to get the Star Wars exclusives for him. And then I get halfway through the line. We are sold out of Jyn Erso. He texts me, fuck. I get like 3/4 of the way through the line. We are out of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Fuck. So I ended up just getting him the Kylo, which he didn't actually like completely want, but he was, you know, happy getting it just because at that point he was happy getting anything. And then also while I was in line, somebody paid me like, the set was like $108, but they gave me $150 to buy them the Magic the Gathering card set that I guess was Hasbro exclusive. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get it for you. I ended up with a little cash in my pocket. And then I bought my 2 RAF sets, or rather my RAF set and one of the Beltran's RAF sets, and fuck. I think that was it. Yeah, that sounds right. They ran out of the star screen too, the one that transformed into a tablet. That was pretty cool. But, the reason I'm pissed that my friend left the line wasn't because he couldn't get his shit, is because I was going to pay him to get me a 3rd RAF set so I could get 2 for the Beltran brothers. But because his sensitive bladder just had to leave at the opportune moment that we got called up to the line, we lost out. But, you know, it is what it is.
While you're talking about that, today's actually the last day to enter the little raffle that we have for the RAF set. If you go on the A.C.B.A. Instagram and just click the link in the profile, then you can enter. And you can enter for as little as $5, or you put a maximum of $20 down, and that'll get you 4 entries. And this is something that we've done many times. So we've given away, you know, pretty expensive sets. I guess you could say they're expensive sets for $5, basically. So, you know, it's a good opportunity for you to try to win one if you didn't get to STCC, or your connect didn't come through at STCC, or you don't want to, you know, risk it just on Hasbro Toy Shop. It's another, you know, it's another way to try to get the set. So today's the last day for you to throw down. You should take 2 seconds and do that if you're listening and you haven't done that yet. It's definitely worth a shot. But yeah. What about you?
One of the Beltrans is going to have to do that because I let them down for sure.
Pretty sure that that Henry definitely threw down 5. I'm pretty sure. So I guess it was for his brother or for him, whoever's taking the set. But I'm pretty sure.
Do these dudes live together?
No, they don't.
They don't, right? They got their own
brothers.
They got kids, right?
Yeah, they have their own, you know, collections and everything.
Oh damn! Then I was about to say, if these motherfuckers are like roommates, they better just fucking suck it up and share.
Nah.
No, I told them they're gonna have to Thunderdome for it.
Pretty sure they both got their own like families and kids and shit like that.
One last thing, was in the Hasbro line. I ran into Giovanni Pimentel. He's a longtime A.C.B.A. a member in the main group, and I think he's on PNP too. So shout out to him. It was good seeing him in the line. And other than that, while I was there, I just I got interviews with Mezco, with NECA, with Hasbro, Diamond. I got to meet one of my favorite radio hosts. Actually, he was walking around the Hilton while I was on my way to that Comic-Con HQ thing, which ended up being a bust. They were like completely disorganized. They didn't have like slots available for anybody on the last day. Myself and Dan Pickett from Action Figure Insider were both basically turned away when we got there. So a little disappointing, but nice brisk 20-minute walk in the hot sun there and back. Cool stuff.
All right, what'd y'all get this week, or the past 2 weeks, three weeks?
Shit, I got those X-Men Legends. I fucked up, man. Those X-Men Legends, they went up on Amazon.
Oh,
being the typical person that I am, I really didn't pay attention to anything but Deadpool, and I bought like a bunch of Deadpool. And I was like, oh, well, typical Hasbro, that Wolverine is going to be 2 per case. I won't even order it. Well, what a fucking mistake that was, because Wolverine everything is 1 per case. I forgot.
Why didn't you know that? We've been saying this shit for the longest.
I just fucking always, when it comes to Hasbro, I think, who's the main character in that wave? Boom, that guy has 2. And so yeah, I went to a store. I wasn't even gonna buy the X-Men Legends like that, but I went to a fucking Target, and they had all of them in multiples, but Deadpool and Wolverine. So while I was there, I mean, I could have bought them anywhere, but it's just there were so many there I could pick out good paint apps. So I just fucking took them because they were there.
No doubt.
Um,
I'm seeing
and
so many people finding them at finding a wave at
heck,
Walgreens. And
get a load of this bullshit. This bitch that was working at Target, while I'm looking through the things, comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, you here for the X-Men Legends?" And I was like, "Yeah." There's not the one that I want. And she's like, "Yeah, I know. Everybody wants it. Well, guess what? I saved one of the Deadpools. I got you 45."
What?
I was like, lady, I pre-ordered like 6 Deadpools through Amazon. I don't even want him. I want Wolverine. And she's like, "Oh." And she just walked away from me. I was like, "Damn, man, you're scandalous. What
wow.
is
That's the
this?"
lady that works there?
Yeah, I was at the Glendale Galleria fucking
What
Target.
the fuck? That's
Nuts.
weird, man. I will say though that it looks like Walgreens, at least here in my area, is starting to get that wave first.
Oh yeah,
I found
everybody's
Kitty
finding it.
Pride last night or the night before. Nothing else. Just Kitty Pride. My girlfriend's actually out in like Long Beach. She was looking for some X-Men Legends out there. Doesn't look like they fit anywhere else though.
I wonder
Keep looking though. They're hitting.
gonna do. Was she gonna like actually ring it up for the retail and then take the money off of the top that you would have given her extra, or was she just gonna pocket the whole shit?
Yeah, I don't. It was so strange. It was like this really like chubby rocker chick came up to me like, "Yeah, I bet you're here for those X-Men guys, huh?"
He was
I
probably
was like,
gonna pocket the whole shit.
I was like,
Got that look
"Yeah."
about you.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm here for the X-Men guys," and she's just like, "Yeah, I bet you want Deadpool, don't you?" I was like, "In fact, no, I don't want Deadpool. I have too much of him. I need a fucking Wolverine." And she just looked at me like, "Pfft, who the fuck wants Wolverine?" and walked away. I was like, "All right, lady."
Damn, that girl's a vulture.
So that was funny. I got a bunch of shit from Comic Con. I got Raph sets. I got what else did I buy? I bought the new SH Figure Arts Naruto was there early, so I got that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had, man, this Naruto makes the other one look like a joke.
Yeah, my buddy got that one too. It's really nice.
Clean as fuck, man. I love that figure. Really nice.
I saw a little side-by-side comparison just today, actually.
Yeah, it was a really nice piece.
He got the Black Lady from Sailor Moon too. I guess that was on pre-sale there as well.
The fucking Black Lady? What's that?
She's the Sailor Moon character that like serves pancakes. No, I really don't know who she is, but she's like some villainess of Sailor Moon. My friend's girlfriend collects the SHF.
Her name is Black Lady, for real?
She's the adult version of Chibi Moon.
You said what?
She's the adult version of Chibi Moon who holds a grudge against her mother, who's Sailor Moon.
You
She
speak
like absorbed her or
like
something.
I've
right?
ever watched Sailor Moon, and I know what the fuck you're talking about. You got to break that down a little better.
Look, she's an adult Chibi Moon. The little girl with the pink hair that looks like Sailor Moon. She's the older version from the future, I guess.
Okay.
It's one of those things where like if they translated it into English, she'd probably be called like the Dark Lady, kind of like the Dark Magician.
Gotcha. I guess.
I fucking got a set of Funko Pops from the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, nice.
From
Not to even cut you off real quick, but I keep remembering stuff as you mention it. But at the Funko Pop booth, we saw John Barrowman from Arrow and Doctor Who and stuff. And
Dude, I hung out at the Hilton and I pretty much saw like fucking a bunch of random stars you couldn't even fucking imagine.
Nice.
I was just hanging out there charging my phone and they kept passing by. You watch Rick and Morty, Fabio?
Not really. Everyone tells me I should, but I don't.
What?
I met the
No.
creator. I met the creator and the voice of Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Took a
I
picture-
saw the
that was
picture that you took. It's funny that the year that I went and me and Slings roomed together, we stayed at the Hilton, and literally all day, every day we were there. It was just mad celebrities coming in and out of there too.
Nice.
Matter of fact,
Actually, when I was waiting to interview Mezco, John Barrowman was buying the SDCC exclusive Tigra that they had there. And I was yelling at him, like, dude, buy the Captain America, buy the Captain America. But no, security shut that down real quick.
I know he wasn't just waiting in line like a regular person.
No, actually, there was no line.
No,
It was pretty much the entire time.
it's fucking John
In
Barrowman.
and out.
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
know who walked by me and I didn't even notice because it was a different day where I wasn't even giving a shit about looking for stars. I was tired as fuck. My phone was dead. PayPal froze my account. I was just fucking having a terrible day. I didn't even look up. I was so fucking pissed. I didn't even look up. The person that walked right by me was fucking, Arrow, Stefan M.
Oh man.
Fucking, I was so fucking mad I missed him. And the lady was like, "You didn't see him?" And I was like, "Listen, lady, of course I didn't fucking see him." Kevin Smith walked by, gave everybody a high five and kept it moving.
Nice.
Bruce Willis walked
Bruce
by.
Willis?
The Vision walked. The Vision. What's it? Paul Bettany was fucking surrounded by like an entourage of like 30
God.
people. There's like no way to get to him. Dana White. I saw Dana White a few times.
What was Dana White doing there? The Republican National Convention was on the same day.
I have no idea. He was red as fuck too. I was with Keiyo's roommate. And I was like, dude, I can't see. Well, is that fucking Dana White? And he's like, oh fuck, that is Dana White. And I was like, oh man.
You said he was red as fuck?
Yeah, from the sun.
Nah, he was coked up.
Yeah,
He was coked up.
He was fucking redder than a cherry tomato, man.
Oh shit, he was on
I seen one of the guys from Vampire Diaries. The girls were like fucking melting over his ass. I seen a bunch of people, so that was cool. But back on topic for buying, man, this convention was such a busy convention. I didn't have any time to do anything. So Sunday, I finally had like an hour to like kind of go look around. And I'm going to look around, and I'm like, oh, let me go to the fucking. I'm sure you guys know the company Enterbay. They're the people that do the basketball figures.
Right.
Man, I fucking go to the booth, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is the new. They have this new scale, 1/9 scale of basketball figures, and I see Stephen Curry and James Harden, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, are these for sale? And he's like, yeah, they're for sale, but they're all sold out. And I was like, okay, well, fuck me, right? Thanks. And I stood in that booth for a little bit, and I was like, hey, man, I was like, I know you said that you're sold out. I was like, can I just buy this display? And he was like, maybe you could buy the display. The lady that runs the booth isn't here, and so you're going to have to ask her. Just come back an hour before the convention closes. I show up an hour before the convention closes. It's the fucking lady that I met last year, and she just looked at me, and she was like, I should have known it was you. And she sold me the figure, and she gave me a bunch of extras. She gave me a couple extra shoes. She gave me a championship. It was really cool. They ended up just giving me the display.
And I'm sure she pocketed that money.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she did. Really, fucking nicest lady ever. She was happy as fuck. They gave me a discount obviously because it was a display. But she was nice as fuck. I got it. I only got Stephen Curry. I didn't get James Harden because fuck James Harden.
How much were you selling for?
$100 for it was $100 for me because it was the display, but retail is $119. Very, very nice figures. Honestly, man, it's kind of hard to. I feel bad. I mean, it's probably because the figures are older. Those 12-inch figures are like 2-3 years older. But I think the likeness is better on these 1/9 scale figures. I told him I was shocked. I held it in my hand. I was like, damn, this Curry looks better than the other one, and it's bigger and it's smaller than the other one. It's crazy. And it was funny, Darius, I didn't even know that Darius's booth was right next to them the whole time. And Darius just pops up and he's like, hey man, y'all know my boy Rick, man? Hook him up, man. It was funny having that little interaction. I guess they were interacting with Darius throughout the weekend. And Darius was like, apparently the whole weekend Darius was really pushing for them to do 1/12 scale. They said that they have it in mind. So we'll see if they ever go through with it. That would be incredible, 1/12 scale. Basketball figures, that would be nuts.
Damn, if Darius was pushing for it, then they're definitely going to do it, because he has a way of just getting people to be like, alright, fine, shut up, we'll do it.
Yeah, I was standing there with them, and he was like, man, I've been telling him 1/12 figures. Like, oh, has he? And she was like, yes, he's told us throughout the weekend. I was like, I'll tell you this, if you did 1/12 scale figures, they'd be really fucking popular. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah, they'd be super popular. What the hell? Of course they would.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was like, how well did this 1/9 scale thing sell? She's like, oh, it sold really well. I was like, yeah, imagine that, but with people that actually collect a scale that exists. And she's like, oh.
Basically.
He's like, yeah, we're really considering it. I was like, yeah, you should. I think it would do pretty well. And so that was cool. I ended up getting that. I was really fucking scared.
I don't know where they came from with that 1/9 shit. What is that about?
Maybe they can scale that down.
Yeah, it's like a little bit taller than NECA figures. It's strange.
NECA's like 110.
I saw your comparison with the well, I don't know if it was you was meant it to be.
Oh yeah, it was my picture.
Some shit on the table, a whole bunch of figures on the table.
Yeah, that was mine. Just to show the scale of every different line. Very strange.
Yes.
I like them, but it So the whole day I was just fucking sweating bullets, wondering if they were actually gonna sell it to me. When that lady was like, "Oh man, if I would have known it was you, I would have just sold it to you when you came." I was like, "Yeah, but you weren't fucking here." So I was here for fucking like 4 or 5 hours sweating bullets, wondering if I was gonna get this figure. I didn't even know it was for sale. So kind of like to go on Fabio's, Blizzard thing. It was so much going on at Comic-Con, you don't even fucking know what's for sale sometimes and shit.
Yeah, I thought
And
I came there prepared.
those 1/9 scale figures, they're not even out until September. So when I seen them there, I was like, "Oh fuck, like I gotta get this."
And that's pretty much exactly why I bought that Mezco cap, because I'm like, holy shit, this looks great. I need it now. I need to walk away from
I
here
don't know
with
if you
this.
mentioned that, but what's the difference between this the Comic-Con exclusive and whatever's supposed to be coming out soon?
The Comic-Con exclusive is technically considered the classic cap, so it has the same boots and gloves, which have like straps and pouches and stuff on it, so they look more modern. But the ones in the Comic-Con exclusive are like more classic, all red, and then the modern is, I think it has some like brown or dark red highlights on it. But the reason that the pouches
the
are there
helmet
on it is because they house the magnets to keep the shield on his arm. So, they could have done the classic Buccaneer boots and the flared gloves, but I don't think it would have functioned as well. Aside from that, it's just like the Comic-Con is like a slightly darker blue, and the pants are a little less baggy. They're a little more like tights than they are like cargo pants on the modern. But they're both honestly really good. You'd be really happy with either of them, and it comes with the straps. A lot of people didn't know that the classic comes with the straps, but it does because that's how you put the shield on his back.
And the head sculpt is different, right?
No, the masked head sculpt is it's still like a helmet, but the classic has the wings that like flare out, and the modern has them painted on the side of the helmet. Again, still both really good. You'd be happy with either one. I'm impatient, and I figured I'd probably embrace the classic look more than the modern, but again, you'd be happy.
I really want that fucking Commander Rogers. That's the one that
Yes, that one looks really good, and I think it has a different head scan than the one that shipped there too.
Yeah, like a more modern one. So
yes,
it looks fucking sick. When I seen it in person, I was like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, so much good stuff coming out of it. Like that Red Skull, they got 2 versions of Red Skull, Dark Side with like light up eyes and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah.
Go look through my Instagram and look at all the photos I took. It's like so much good stuff.
Had some good shit. Fuck, did I buy anything else? I don't think I honestly, I don't think I bought anything else. I was keeping it real light for this convention, man. I didn't want to overspend, and yes, I don't think I bought fucking anything else. You know what? I bought it obviously because it was at the store, but you know what figure? Actually, I kept thinking that people were just fucking pulling my leg, and that people were just desperate to get it. But that fucking new Cable is actually a lot nicer in person. It has a lot of detail that looks like ass because of that terrible beige color that they fucking put on that figure. There's like fucking bullet wounds and scratches all over the armor. It's sick. You can't even see it because of this terrible plastic with no paint on it. So that figure's actually really nice. I was actually glad that I bought that one. Yeah, I don't think I bought anything else. What about you, Emiya? Hello?
What did I buy? I bought quite a few things. What did I buy? I bought those Marvel Legends. The one in the raft. I bought all the Star Wars figures. Those are all just, whatever. Just bought it, just more or less just to buy. I wanted to buy the Fortress Maximus, but I didn't want to carry it home because I already had so much stuff I had to carry home. I bought the Bait and Sentoy Snake Eyes, which I just received.
Oh, we got those in.
What else did I buy? I bought the True Force Rockman, the X Boost. I bought the Broly. I was going to buy the Naruto, but apparently I have a dozen coming next week anyway, so I'm kind of happy I didn't buy it.
Apparently, you don't know, motherfucker?
Huh?
You said apparently. You don't know?
Well, I didn't know I was getting it this soon. I know I was going to get it later, but apparently it's shipping a lot sooner than I expected it to. So from the person I bought it from. I'll probably buy a few more because I only have 12. So I'll probably think I might try to see if I can get 20, 25.
That's a good number. 20.
Yeah. But I'm not sure yet. I need to see.
Oh yeah, no big deal. Just 20.
Bye bye. There were some other things too. I don't remember. There was so much crap I needed to bring home this time because I needed to like fill like a lot of requests that I had, and ended up buying like a ton of stuff like I usually do every year. So it was very difficult to bring everything back, but I managed to do it. It just costed me a fortune to get everything back, but I guess that's what happened. I need to be more organized next year. So
Oh yeah, that's what I did too. I fucking got Poncho Broly. He asked me for once. I just picked it up for him. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it for him because I was trying to see. I told him you probably have better luck than me as far as trying to use my person to get it, but I ended up actually getting one for myself too. I just took it out the box yesterday. I think it just came yesterday actually. So I got the Broly, I got the Newt, and I got the Legend set, which I didn't actually get in hand yet. And this
You
week,
didn't keep the box, did you?
for what?
The Legend set?
I'll tell you what's funny is I wasn't gonna keep the box. I had told my dude to just open mine and send it to me, loose. And when he opened it, the Spider-Man figure was damaged. The shoulder joint was like in backwards or something like that. And so I called Hasbro, gave them all the pertinent information, off of the box and off of the figures, and they sent me a label to send it back. And I was like, hey, listen, this is the set is still in California. I'm in New York. Are you guys gonna send me a replacement to my house in New York? And they were like, yeah. So so basically, I didn't have to pay for any shipping or anything.
Oh, nice.
So that
Well,
was
at least you're getting the box on it, because that box is actually pretty nice and worth keeping.
well.
The plastic tray, it actually comes out clean with no tape or anything like that, and that actually works as a pretty nice little background piece.
And for the raffle, it'll be just shipping from California, so it won't I won't have to waste money shipping it here and then shipping it out to somewhere else either. So
That box is a fucking nightmare.
yeah, it is.
Huge. It's insane, that box, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
kinda
Pharaoh's
nuts.
here.
But I also got the Space Venom Wave this week. I mean, we got it into the shop, I guess, last week or like a week and a half ago. But I was trying to take care of all the shit that we needed to take care of, and I just opened up a set for myself on Friday, I guess, and then I also got a Deadpool and a Wolverine separate that Happy Day Customs sent to me actually, Chris. And
Chris.
fucking Wolverine is the truth, man. It really is.
Yeah, man. That was a huge oversight on my part. I don't know what I was thinking.
Is the truth. I mean, it's such a good figure. Mechanically, the look, like it's a very good figure for $20, man.
I've tried to get so many artists their custom Wolverine heads that they've been printing, and dude, every fucking time that I get to it, it's always gone. Pisses me off. Some sick ass heads for Wolverine that people are putting out, and
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people doing their own thing with the kit bashes and stuff for Wolverine. It's pretty cool. Oh yes, thank you. What about you, Pharaoh? You just in time to tell us what you bought.
Batman and Superman, Mayfix, and I don't think nothing else. Oh, the San Diego set came in the day came in yesterday actually.
You had your ship loose, right?
Yep. And that's about it. Well, another Deadpool, but
Yo, this silk unmasked head looks great on Spider Woman.
I heard that head sculpt is incredible.
Yeah, I gotta hurry up and get that wave from you because I don't know, I damn near dreamed about that shit the other day.
Yeah, it's nice, man. You know, one of the standout figures for me in the wave is Hobgoblin. I've seen reviews and stuff, and it's just one of those things. Like when you get it in hand, you realize how much better it is than the Toy Biz version. Like it's actually really nice.
Talking cash shit about it last time.
Huh?
I said you was talking cash shit about it the other day.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't. I told you at first I didn't like this figure at all. I didn't really like the way it looked. I didn't like the way it looked at Toy Fair when I saw it, but I don't know. It looks great now. It looks very good.
I don't like the glider, but everything else is money, man.
Yeah, that glider's bullshit. I'm gonna use the glider from the Toy Biz one.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
That's
bullshit
how that.
about it?
Huh?
What's wrong with the glider?
It's small. It's
It's
just
small as shit. Really small. Looks
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they like
pathetic.
sled.
that force shit. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna make a small glider and force this motherfucker into this little package.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming that had to have been a lot of it trying to fit it into the box.
but the body molds for the Spider guys, for the Spider Man, for Peter and for Miles, it's money. Probably my only gripe is that I said this when I was recording the other day. I don't like the way the hinge on the foot doesn't hinge up more. If the hinge on the foot hinged upward more and it had a toe joint, then you really be able to get it into a better like kind of classic crouching position. I don't
Yeah,
really
that like that 4 point stance.
right. I don't really
Heat it up and cut you some space.
yeah. I guess you could do that. Um, and the way they have the Spider Man in the package, they come out a little warped in the arm. You're definitely gonna have to hot water, cold water, or
Yeah, the arm and the knee are like stupidly positioned in the box, right?
well, it's mostly the arm. When I on mine, it was both the arms, and I opened quite a few of them too, because some people wanted their shit loose. So yeah, it was mostly the arms on all of them. But it's a great figure, man. It looks great. Yo, Wolverine is about the same height as those figures, so that'll give you an
Oh man,
idea.
that's fucking sick.
That'll give you an idea of how official they made that Wolverine in terms of the size and making it accurate.
How do you like the claws on that Wolverine? A
Uh,
lot of people weren't happy with them.
you know what? I like the fact that it's easier for you to pull them out and shit, but it's not. But this shit, really, you know what I'm saying? It's you definitely want to try another option or swap them out for the shinier claws that you got with the X Force Wolverine if you have that one, and yeah, or paint them.
Yeah, I'm hearing they fucking look like milk colored.
Yeah, they look weird. They definitely.
It's like they're almost like a translucent gray.
Yeah, yeah,
Terrible.
But I mean, the whole thing, the way that they designed it and everything, especially seeing that the the first version of that figure, the yellow and blue Wolverine, the way they designed it, you just seen the little rectangle holes where you just like they were
Yeah,
just
yeah,
clear out.
yeah.
So the way that they sculpted the little metal things on his glove over it or whatever kind of hides that. That was kind of slick. But yeah, that I don't know the way the holes are made. They're like crooked, so certain claws won't stay straight. It's kind of weird.
hmm.
Like,
Yeah. That was definitely the other thing that I noticed that on one hand, both hands don't match basically. So you got the left hand, you might have it the claws a certain distance apart and it looks good, and then on the right hand they're real close together or something. It just doesn't really ever match up properly. Like it's gonna
I
take a lot of finagling.
I think that the one thing about that Wolverine I don't like is that they didn't paint on any arm hair.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of just a few little things they could have done to really take it over the top, but you know.
Yeah, but it was a nice figure. That whole wave is nice in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get any of the other figures just yet, but
And I'm saying Havoc's probably the only one that you kind of be like, eh.
I just hate those effects, man. The bubbles.
Those things aren't even, you know what? None of those effects work properly either. You have to like do extra shit to them to get them to kind of like work out for you.
You know, you got to put them almost up on the forearm in some cases, and not really on the wrist sometimes.
I have them on the hands, man. Like, because those clips or whatever are very thin, so they just like rock back and forth on the figure or spin around. The heaviest part of the effect, I just spin down. So,
Yeah. I really disliked early on the Iceman because everybody was telling me it was so ass. And then I got it in, and I was like, man, people just overreact. It just needs a little paint, like Craig did it. But the sculpt was good, and I think the articulation is just fine. I like it on the Pizza Spidey. So
Yeah, I saw Craig's thing. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
that shit was nuts. Like, damn, man, let me send this over to Craig.
I like the fact that when Craig did it, it brought out the sculpt so you could actually see his face and everything.
Yeah,
I think it sculpted his face really nice, but I'm not a big fan of Iceman not being clear.
Yeah, I want some clarity to the body.
So I don't really want him to be like thick blue ice with snow on it. That was my only gripe about the paint job. I mean, it looked nice. I'm not
and look, if you look at his open hand right there, there's some clear to it. Like, it would have been cooler if it was just more like a frosted clear instead of like a thick snow.
Right.
Good
Rick,
sculpt.
is that back piece removable?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Nope, that back piece is definitely removable.
Called it. You guys call me crazy.
If you take off the back piece and you were able to swap out the head for a more like rounded classic look, then you would have a more classic Iceman. This is really like a modern take on him, or it could be used as the sort of like an AOA version too, but it's more of a modern look. This is kind of how he's been more recently in the comics.
You think I could put the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends one?
I honestly don't know how the peg is on that head. I never took
it. Probably the Dremel.
That was funny. Craig in his review put the old Iceman next to this one, and his Iceman is fucking yellower than piss. I was just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that shit didn't hold up good over time at all.
This was going to do the same thing with that gummy plastic.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, it's not as bad as the X-Men box set one, at least. That one for sure is going to turn yellow like tomorrow. That one had like that milky white color to it, you know.
I don't know. People going hard, you know, on that box set Iceman. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, that body is just not the greatest.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's that body. That's the one that Claw used, and Claw is probably the worst Marvel Legend I have in my possession right now. Because a lot of them have been redone or remade.
That Claw goes for like a little bit more money now because
it does, yeah.
Yeah, it goes for like $30 almost.
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest peg warmers for a while too, up there with Constrictor.
Biggest peg warmer, you'd fucking see him all over TJ and fucking Marshalls. Man. Now it's fucking $30, like shit.
Yeah, Claw ain't worth no damn $30.
No. I don't know who the fuck is paying $30 for it, but it ain't me. I tell you that.
It's sort of like an essential figure to have in your collection, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, you do need him for sure.
I mean, I don't even see why anybody would have slept on actually buying Claw.
Yeah.
He was so cheap.
Yeah, it ended up being something like $8 at Target. I think it's cheapest.
He was Princess Leia status, Greedo status.
Man, hey man, don't even bring that up, man. I kick myself all the time when I think about not buying those Leias because they had like literally like 8 to 10 of them just all on clearance.
Or what? She's going for money now or something?
It's because someone complained like Breaking Bad figures, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you're selling nude women to our children at toy stores."
Oh right, okay.
One of those things. So it got taken off of shelves and became harder to find.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, they came out and said that they don't want to do any more products with a Slave Leia now.
Oh, that's right. That was the whole thing. They're retiring the Slave Leia thing.
I don't know, man. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know, man. That's bullshit.
I mean, it's one thing to erase the expanded universe, but to erase Slave Leia, come on. She's not like Hulk Hogan.
Well, here's the thing, though. When you look at Slave Leia, I mean, first of all, the bitch ain't naked. So I mean, I don't really see the big problem because you can put any fucking Marvel Legends female that like She-Hulk or I mean fucking DC or Wonder Woman, any type of female character out there, and she pretty much has on the same shit. Like,
I mean, yeah, the Legends body molds are definitely like more sexy, I would say.
I mean, shit, you got fucking red She-Hulk with a camel toe and shit.
If Princess Leia was a black character, then I could see the uproar. But
Well, that already happened with NECA and their the
Here we go.
Django
Here we
line. I know. I had to bring it back. I had to bring it in.
they said something about that.
Yeah, they did Django figures. They're just like those Mego style figures.
Yeah,
You know?
I remember the figures, but I didn't know that they.
Oh yeah, huge uproar over those. Especially, I mean, it drove the value of those through the roof because they basically had to stop selling them, and the entire set goes for like almost thousands. Brunhilde alone, which is Django's wife, is like one of the most valuable and sought after.
Ain't nobody buy that shit though.
If you keep it in box, that's definitely like a piece of history.
You didn't even buy that shit, did you?
Nah, that was actually before I started collecting again.
Shane ended up with a set or whatever. Some Toys R Us actually got that set in and shit. They just wouldn't sell it. They shipped them back.
Damn. Yeah, that was a huge uproar thing. So much so that when they did the Hateful Eight figures, they had to put a disclaimer on the product page that's like, we do not believe in like any of the themes of this movie. We're just making fucking action figures. Don't make a big deal of it.
Shane made a terrible mistake with those figures. Told him when it was going on, and he still didn't listen.
Fucking Shane.
Yeah, Shane. That dude disappeared from the groups, but when they fucking came out, he fucking, for some strange reason, didn't want to sell them. He wanted to like hold on to them and wait for the value to go up. But once people stopped giving a shit about the movie, nobody cared anymore, and the price kept getting lower and lower. And then they got so low that he felt it wasn't worth it to sell them. I was like, dude, we told you to fucking sell them.
When didn't some guy offer him? Man, yeah, they offered him some stupid amount of money for each.
They offered him some crazy money. He was like, nah, I know I'm gonna get higher later on. Like, Shane.
I remember that on the set.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna fucking care in 3 months, Shane. Sell them.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm gonna wait. And they kept getting so low that he was just like, I'm never gonna sell them now. I was like, all right. Well.
He did the goofy. Yeah, I'd got rid of that shit. Somebody come offer me $3,000-$4,000 for the set. They could have walked away with it. Shit.
Fool, man. They were offering him some crazy money. I'll never forget it. He said they were even offering him crazy money when he left the store.
You talking about Shane Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The disappearing man.
Yes, he is.
He's got a full set.
Yeah, that was very, very terrible but funny.
Hey, Instagram community, they don't feel my passion for the A.C.B.A. store having multiple Marvel Legends sets for sale.
Yeah, I saw that you had them in an uproar this past week.
Yeah, what was that about?
What about shit? I posted the fucking picture. I didn't say too much about
For
it.
the audience, just because they might not be in the loop, you know?
Man, I don't know, man. Listen, I'm just going to go out and say this. I don't know where this mentality is coming from. I really suspect it's older collectors, but the shit that they're spewing around is just retarded, man. Like, it's one of the biggest things I'm tired of hearing is that, I went to Walmart, they had 2 of the figures from New Wave, a scalper beat me to the other ones. You don't know who the fuck beat you to those figures, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It could be a kid with a big ass allowance that beat you to those figures, man. You just don't know. And dude,
You weren't here when I was telling the story, Pharaoh, but it could have been a worker. I told them I found the X-Men wave at the store. I only want Wolverine because I have like a fucking million Deadpools. I don't need Deadpool. And this fucking lady that worked at Target approached me like, hey man, I'll sell you a Deadpool for $40. Like, bitch, I don't want a fucking Deadpool.
Hey, that's believable because you realize, I mean, it's a hot wave anyway. So, I mean, to get to a store, see a complete set minus the Deadpool is not like far-fetched at all.
Oh, not at all, man.
I was just in Walgreens, believe it or not, and it's funny. I sit there and talk to this little chubby Mexican kid for like 20 minutes in the toy aisle. He could have been any more than fucking 11, man. looking for, and it was crazy because he was looking for a Deadpool. And a lot of people don't understand that now the options are getting very small with certain characters. So, like, a lot of people are like, oh, kids don't buy Marvel Legends. Man, at a certain point, a kid doesn't have a choice but to buy Marvel Legends if they want a certain character.
Man, at the Legends panel, I think there was like a fucking good amount of kids, and they were probably the ones asking the most questions. Shartimus Prime went up there and asked like one question, and fucking I'm assuming Solid was there, but I don't know if he was. He didn't fucking ask anything. Kids.
He wasn't there.
Kids were the ones that kept asking questions.
Really?
There's a lot of kids making a lot of requests that everybody wanted and stuff like that.
Really?
But, yeah.
I mean,
there was a lot of kids.
When I was 8, 9 years old, I mean, you gotta realize the action figures didn't have multiple points of articulation. It might have been a Kenner figure with 5 points of articulation. You might get lucky when Toy Biz had got the Marvel license and the DC license, and you might end up with something like 8 points of articulation.
And again, it's about the value of a Marvel Legend. A parent is going to be more they're going to be more inclined to buy their kid a $20 figure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could get your parents to buy you a Marvel Legend, like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Right. But I mean, what I was saying, with the characters, I mean, right now, if you want a Deadpool action figure, what are your real options? Like, you have a Marvel Legends figure. I think it might be a superhero masher figure out there somewhere. And after that, you pretty much don't have any other options.
So yeah, I mean, even once these the Figma Deadpool and the Revoltech Deadpool, even once those drop, a kid's not gonna have. More than likely, they're not going to be in the loop to be doing their 1-2 thing on the import sites and trying to figure that out, and they're definitely not going to put their parents up to that shit either. So, yeah, Legends is definitely the #1 choice right now and the easiest to get. So, like you said, it ain't all scalpers. It's just
man. Everybody, that scalper shit, man. That shit. I don't know, man. I think a lot of these older collectors really just try to like brainwash these younger dudes into doing the work for them. I mean, you go on certain community groups, and only thing they do is complain about the price of shit on a secondary market. That's all they do. They complain. They don't go look, really. You have some dude coming to a Walmart or to a Target at 6 p.m. trying to find some figures. Like, get the fuck out here, man. You know damn well when that case hit that store, those figures were going at 8 a.m. Like, so if you can't get to it, like I was telling a guy, because they came at me about my Deadpools too, which I don't give a fuck. But man, it was a lot of sites offering that fucking figure like single. You know what I mean? That you could order it. And I remember one site was only offered for $25, and these dudes didn't want to pay $25. Talking about the people running the site are scalpers, like, because they charge them $4 extra. Like, really, you arguing about $4?
Not to mention that it got offered on Toys R Us, it got offered on Amazon. It's popped up many, many times for cheap. I ordered an extra Deadpool from Toys R Us when they had the free shipping a couple weeks ago. So
shit, it just popped back up. Was it day before yesterday on Toys R Us? Like, so I mean, it's options out there, man. A lot of these dudes, like I said, they want to sit on their ass and they don't really want to go out here and try to find their shit. They just sit back and just complain about not being able to find it. So,
pretty much. So what else is going on? What else happened this past week?
I'm just reading all these comments on Pharaoh's page. This is fucking hilarious. We got people writing volumes here, man. People are like writing entire paragraph tirades about this.
You over there looking at my shit?
Yeah. Like, listen to this. You got homes and cars, but can't afford a better camera to record your video reviews on YouTube.
What does it have to do with anything?
Exactly.
I told him the truth, man. I don't give a fuck about YouTube. Listen, man. I only even got to fuck around with YouTube because people said I should fuck around with YouTube. I don't care shit about YouTube at all. I think making reviews is one of the most hardest things for somebody like me to do. Because, I mean, right into the beginning of it, I really feel like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to cover all these points. I don't care if these people want to, I mean, younger collectors I cared a little more about. But as far as, like, these 40, 35-year-old men or whatever. I don't give a fuck about trying to get them to go buy a damn figure, man. Like, you buy that shit or don't. Like, I don't know. But those dudes were crazy, man. Like one dude called me a scalper. I've been called scalper a few times. I don't even really sell shit. It's just like,
It don't make no sense. It's they out there in abundance. You can find it, and the shit that really bugs me is like, yo, you live in a totally different city from me. What the fuck do you what's on my store shelves for? Like, we not even in the same city. You across the map.
what's wrong, Boog? You don't like that comment? You're the reason why I can't find it.
Right. Like, no, I'm not. You're the reason.
That's just hilarious, man. Like I said,
That's like
I'm
them
not
blaming that's like them blaming you for them being chubby or some shit. No, you're the reason you're chubby. Like, work out.
man, this is America, motherfucker. You know damn well they're gonna blame somebody else for some shit. Personal responsibility is almost non-existent in this country.
Silly, man.
Make collecting great again.
Right, make collecting. Hey, read. Hey, listen. Actually, besides the post with the Spider-Man Wave boxes, the post with when I got like 13 Deadpools, and then the post right before that when I only got something like 9 Deadpools. Man, if you read through all those comments, man, you'd be like thoroughly entertained, man.
Yeah, I got people asking in the comments where they can read all this. It's on Pharaoh's Instagram. I don't know. I think the link's down below, right?
Pharaoh_Black.
There's a link in the description of this video. Just go down where it says Pharaoh Black.
Now, if you go over there and read my shit, you gotta like a couple of the pictures.
That's marketing.
Yo, that's the funny thing too, is that like people go on your Instagram. Your Instagram is 95% A.C.B.A. shots. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they can't think that you like. If they just scroll through your feed for 2 seconds, they should know that like this is what you do. You buy shit and you take pictures of it. Like it's not like you know what I'm saying. Like
a lot of those dudes, are, man, they made fake accounts, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could name a couple of those dudes.
Yeah,
you look at the accounts, man, they have 23 posts, 4 followers, and here comes this motherfucker that knows my Instagram all of a sudden.
Right, exactly.
Like, fuck out of here, man.
We know who you are. What else happened this week? I don't even know. No movies was out?
Hey, I seen that movie about the pets. Man, hey, listen, don't sleep on it, man. That little rabbit was funny as hell.
Yeah, did we talk about the Killing Joke? Y'all all saw that?
Nah, I heard a lot of people were disappointed though.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Honestly, I never read the comic book, so you know I watched the movie totally naive to anything, and I thought it was okay.
I think story arcs. I mean, they serve their purpose, man. I don't take. There's a lot of stuff I just don't take as like canon. You know what I mean? I just like, okay, this is this dude's perspective. He's telling this story or whatever else. But man, some of this shit is just wild, man.
I heard that the whole like love-making scene was not in the comic books at all. Is that true?
Man.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Is there was
not in the comic. It's not
like the romance was tacked onto this for some reason.
So they added shock value.
I wonder why they did that shit.
The shock value.
A lot of people made a big deal about it at the show, at the premiere. But when I saw the movie, I didn't think it was actually that big of a deal. I didn't think it was as bad as people were making it out to be. The whole Batgirl thing. I mean, sure, it didn't need to be there at all, to be honest. But I think the biggest problem with it, in general, is it just whoever directed the screenplay, it doesn't have the same impact as the comic panels do. To me, it just didn't come off as powerful.
I heard somebody mention that the way the lines were delivered was kind of whack too. Like,
man.
The guy whoever did Commissioner Gordon's voice, I think he could definitely been better. I mean, Kevin Conroy was Kevin Conroy. I think Mark Hamill did a great job. I mean, he always does a great job. And I think his voice for that Joker was really good. I think in general it was also too short. I mean, it was very fast paced. I mean, you spent a half of the movie pretty much on that Batgirl thing, and you pretty much had half the movie was actually The Killing Joke, was adapting The Killing Joke. I mean, it was really short as well. For something that's Killing Joke, something that's so revered, so it has such a strong, acclaim. I think they kind of did it a bit. It was a little low budget as well. I think the animation also could have been a bit better, to be honest. Everything about it just didn't seem like it could have been as good as it was. So I don't know. I mean, that's my personal feeling. I didn't think the Batgirl stuff was as bad as people were making it out to be. A lot of the feminists and stuff like that were going crazy on it. A lot of people were saying it ruined it. They weren't even talking about The Killing Joke. They were just talking about the whole thing with Batgirl, But I think most, especially the scene at the end when they're talking to each other, when Batman and Joker are talking and it's raining and he's talking, that whole scene it just didn't come off as powerful as it could have came off as it did when I read the comic.
Right, it came off a little goofy, a little bit
it came off very just like it was whatever. There was no drama to it. Yeah, you could have been goofy, you could have been laughing or whatever. It just didn't come off the same way. That's pretty much like my main gripe with it. It just didn't come off as powerful as I'd wanted it to. I guess maybe going in, it's The Killing Joke, and they did such a good job on some of the other ones. They did a pretty decent job with Dark Knight. They did a great job with Under the Red Hood. I just kind of went in, expecting, oh man, this is Killing Joke. They're really gonna do a great job on this one, and it was actually kind of a complete opposite. It just everything. It wasn't like it was bad. It wasn't that it was terrible. It just for something that was it's Killing Joke. It's supposed to be. It's one of the most critically acclaimed Batman one-shot stories, and it just came off very flat. So
to slow up a bit, maybe.
What happened? What did you say?
So I think maybe DC might need to slow up a bit with Batman.
Maybe. I think so. I think that could be it too.
It just to me, I mean, I understand. The story itself is what, like 52 pages, or like 51 pages, something very small.
It's a one.
I understand that you need to fill that space. That's fine.
Right.
But I would have preferred personally for it to have shown me after she was shot than before, and make her people over exaggerate. People over exaggerate, in my opinion, and it wasn't as crazy as people were making it seem once I watched it. People made it seem like she was obsessed with fucking Batman, but it was just that, that's what happened. I don't think it was the right move personally. That's not Babs to me, but it wasn't what people make it out to be. Like, man, she's just fucking obsessed with fucking Batman. That wasn't the case for me, at least. Did she do it with Batman? Yes. Should she have? Absolutely fucking not. Not in my opinion.
I mean, it's not the only time she's fucked with Batman. Not saying that it's...
when she does it, she's like in her 40s, and it's like far into the future.
Right. But I mean, this is the thing, man. First of all, she was an adult. She was a younger adult, but she was still an adult. I mean, her attraction to... I mean, a lot of women are attracted to older men. You gotta realize she's young, and it's fucking Batman / Bruce Wayne. Ain't no telling what the fuck kind of crazy shit is running through her mind, after a certain amount of time, whatever. So she gave you some food.
Somebody's thing must be open because you breaking up a little bit.
It's not mine. Can you hear me now?
I think it's good now.
You good now?
Okay. I was just saying she's a young adult. She gave him some pussy. Big fucking deal. I mean, it wasn't like Batman was preying on her, and it wasn't like she was just like out of her mind or in some type of traumatic experience that made her vulnerable. She wanted to give him some pussy. That's just how I go. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the world works. I mean, but I've gotten pussy just because some chick want to give me some pussy. Yeah. She ain't gotta really want to be with me and be in love. She's just like, that's a young player dude right there. I want to give him some pussy.
A girl know within 5 minutes of meeting you if she want to give you some pussy.
All right. I got my girl right now. She wanted to give me some pussy. That's how I got her. She wanted to give me some pussy.
People when they first saw the film were, these articles were floating around everywhere that made it seem like Batgirl was some obsessed bat chick that just wanted to fuck Bruce, and that just wasn't the case. Just letting the audience know whether on the fence. That wasn't the case. Did they hook up? Yeah, but it wasn't like what people made it seem like, obviously. And I think the other thing I really didn't like was that I know that this was in the original version of The Killing Joke, because I'm sure most of us here have read it. Those flashbacks of the Joker were too clean. To me, they should have looked like distorted, and they should have been like a little fucked up and like a little more hazy. It looked very clean. It looked like somebody acting out Joker's memory, not the Joker remembering it. It didn't really translate well like it did in the book for me, and I would have liked for it to have looked just a little like more fucked up and a little more like hazy and a little more, Jokerish, and not so like somebody retelling what happened to the Joker.
Sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss. For the most part, DC been doing a pretty, decent job with their animated stuff. Not so much with their live action, but Suicide Squad will be out soon. So I think that I don't know. I kind of think this one might be pretty big for them.
Yeah, I mean, if the Suicide Squad movie is anything like what everybody thinks it is, and it's going to be a lot like the animated one, I think we're going to be fine. I enjoyed that animated one a lot. Even with Batman with that water thing on his face, I'm just like, damn, dude, this is a lot like Assault on Arkham. From the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be a lot like Assault on Arkham, which is perfectly fine. I thought that movie was good. I thought Teen Titans versus Justice League was good, but it wasn't Teen Titans versus Justice League to me. It was just Teen Titans versus Trigon. But it was still good to me. I thought it was still good.
The animation for both of those was better than The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
That Teen Titans versus Justice League, I think that's another one with a title for shock value. So people come in, man.
Right.
That was just a grabbing title. I mean, the fucking Justice League were barely in it. I don't even know. They fought for like 2 minutes.
I mean,
when is Marvel gonna get their shit together and start putting out some animation consistently? Like, what the fuck?
I guess they don't really have to because they have animation on Disney, so that's kind of their cop out.
They're running cartoons on a regular, so.
Yeah, I mean DC has some cartoons, but I mean they're pretty bad. Like Teen Titans Go. What's the new one that's coming out? Like Justice League something or other.
That Justice League show looks fucking terrible.
Well,
it's exactly like Teen Titans Go. It's something like that.
Well, that Teen Titans Go, though, with the younger crowd, that thing is a hit because...
Oh, yeah, the young kids love it.
They watch this shit. I don't know if you love Teen Titans. But I know what you mean, though. But, I mean, even with the animation, or should I say cartoons based towards a more, like, older audience, I don't really think Marvel has anything that will keep your attention for long. Because, I mean, I can't really watch Ultimate Spider-Man. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it goes back and forth. I can enjoy it a little bit, then it goes back into some real childish bullshit. So.
Yeah, I have the problem with Ultimate Spider-Man, and with I know people are gonna fucking kill me for it, but I have the same problem with the Ninja Turtle show. I don't think it's bad. It's obviously well written, but it can get so childish that I don't even feel like watching it. It just feels like, oh, dude, this is just a show for children.
Ninja Turtles was great until they put them out in space. I'm having a hard time watching.
We're in space right now?
Well, the last time I watched it, they are out there trying to fight some bug men and run around with some dude, Fugitoid or some shit. Yeah, but you know how it was with the toys. The older toys, they always had a gimmick. They start putting them in all type of shit or whatever. I mean, it's no different with this shit. It's really aimed to sell more action figures.
Yeah, those action figures, they have like the biggest section in every store. The Ninja Turtle section is always the biggest.
That's it's crazy too that they're still going strong after all since 1987 as far as cartoons go.
Yeah, there's always something. Something always comes for it, even if it's gone for like a couple years. It always comes back.
Yeah, it went away for a bit and then it got brought back.
Yeah,
it has been back really since like 2003, the first Nickelodeon show.
Well, I think it came back in 2005 as well.
2005.
Yeah, it was like a reboot of the 2003 version.
And they all were bad, in my opinion. I didn't like any. I like the old cartoon, the first season. I think actually not even the first season. Don't let me lie. I liked the first week. The first week was nice. After that week, it kind of went to like really childish or whatever, and then nothing caught my attention again until they released that TMNT CGI movie.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like a follow-up to the Jim Henson movies.
And that was nice. And then I like this new show up until, like I said, they went to space.
Like, I fucking can't believe they're in space right now. That's nuts.
Speaking of space, though, you guys see Star Trek Beyond?
Oh, that's what came out. That came out Friday?
Yeah, it's really soft opening. Like, almost nobody heard about it. Like, it came out, and I saw it on Tuesday this week, and it had come out the previous Friday. I hadn't heard anything about it. I don't think it's being marketed really well, but it's a really fucking good movie.
Yeah, I'm a fan of these new Star Trek movies. I would definitely go peep that.
See, I think this is actually my favorite of the new 3 movies because the first one is very much like an origin story and like, you know, putting the crew together and everything. And then the second one was just kind of a remake of Wrath of Khan, but inverted to kind of subvert the fans a little bit. But this third one actually felt like the most like an episode of the original series, as far as like they're on their 5-year mission and then some shit happens and they're on this planet and you know they're on their away mission. And I mean, the Enterprise gets destroyed a lot, but not in this way where it like completely gets destroyed to shreds. There's like not even an Enterprise by the end of the movie. They have to make a new one. But
you just giving away the fucking movie, huh?
No, not even. I mean, you can see all that shit in the trailer. That the whole movie kicks off basically because the Enterprise just gets blown to smithereens. But yeah, the way they get off the planet is really cool, and it's a good movie, man. The villain is Idris Elba, so you know he brings that powerhouse performance.
Oh man.
You don't even know it's him at first until you know later towards the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's the main alien guy, and you don't really know that. You don't really know it's played by him until later. It's kind of cool. Really, until the credits.
They got a face full of makeup over him, man, where you can't really tell what's going on. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but it's not really given away. But by the end of the movie, you do start to recognize him more.
Idris Elba, man, he's in fucking
Hollywood bullshit, man.
Fucking Idris Elba's in all the hit movies, man. Very quietly, he's in all the hit movies. Fucking Finding Dory.
But again,
that's the biggest animated film of all time.
Listen, that's some Hollywood bullshit right there, though. I'm gonna tell you why it's Hollywood bullshit for those of you out there. Oftentimes, when it's a character of African descent, you know, they in one of these comic movies or in a sci-fi movie like this, they go out of their way to like not show their face. So it's like, you know, the same thing they did with what's the girl's name that played girl from Guardians of the Galaxy? What's her name?
Oh, Gamora.
Saldana.
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
You know, it's some Hollywood bullshit. Some real low-key racist bullshit, man.
What were they going to do with her anyway? If she's playing Gamora, they would have had to make her green.
But yeah, you know, but they could have got a white person to play a green person. Fuck all that, though.
It's true. I mean, she plays, you know, a black woman in Star Trek. She's just Uhura.
Yeah.
But I don't know who plays there's another girl that's in the movie that she's kind of another person that's like stranded on this planet, and she helps the Enterprise crew kind of, you know.
She's a brand new character.
She's a brand new character. I'm pretty sure the girl that plays her is black too. But I liked her character in the movie, and I heard a funny backstage story about it actually. Her name in the movie is Keiyo. And the way they came up with that name was that when they were writing the script and they were doing the table reads and stuff, they hadn't really come up with a name for the character yet. So they kept referring to her as Jennifer Lawrence from Hunger Games, because that was like the style of character that she is, like a very strong survivalist sort of woman. So as they kept doing the table reads and stuff, they kept calling her Jennifer Lawrence, and that got shorted to J-Law, and then eventually J-Law, which is the actual name of the character.
No, I forgot I got this the New Hope Luke from Figure Arts too. I just opened it right now. This figure's really nice.
Oh yeah. Fucking paid for Ant-Man and Luke too. I forgot.
I'm playing with my Mezco cap right now. And we got people chiming on in the comments about the Black Panther movie. Did you guys hear that Michael B. Jordan's going to be playing the villain?
Yeah.
I think he's Eric Killmonger. They announced that a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? Well, I heard about her more recently, so I'm bringing it up. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen him play a villain role, so that's kind of cool.
I personally, I'm sad to see that he's playing such a random role. I would have preferred him as a hero. I think he deserves to be a hero in films.
Hmm.
But cool to have him. He's a fucking great actor, so I'll fucking take him.
Yeah.
Who's he playing?
Eric
Killmonger.
I don't even know what that is, man. Sorry.
Yeah,
They're
it was
gonna
funny.
Claw isn't the villain in this movie.
It was funny because the fucking to go more on announcements for fucking Marvel. I was at Comic-Con and I was with Keiyo and somebody else, and I wanted to save us seats for the Hasbro panel, so I told them, hey man, I'm just gonna go like 2.5 hours early, and I'm gonna fucking get us good seats, and so I don't fucking have anything to do. The con was dwindling down, there wasn't much to do, so I was like, let's fucking, I'm just gonna do that, and I go into this one panel for something random, and then right after is like the Women Empowerment of Hollywood panel. And the fucking person running the panel was the director for Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, and fucking in the middle of it, I was falling asleep because I was so bored. And in the middle of it, you just hear and I'm here to introduce your Captain Marvel, Brie Larson! And then everybody started fucking clapping. I woke up and I was like, oh fuck, that's Captain Marvel. And I started fucking clapping, and I woke up and I came to, and I noticed that she fucking not only did she running the panel, but she fucking invited the girl that was announced for Captain Marvel.
What's the girl's name that's playing Captain Marvel?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, right?
Yeah, I hadn't really known her from anything aside from 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, no, same. So it was that was a cool experience.
Yeah, I was seeing some people not too happy with her as
Oh,
Captain.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people wanted Emily Blunt, I think, because Emily Blunt's got that ever since she did Edge of Tomorrow, she plays the super strong soldier woman, whatever. I think she was called the Valkyrie.
They are both.
They were okay.
They are both not.
Always, people always are upset at the choices that people make for these roles until they see them in a role. And it's, oh my God, this person is perfect. No one can ever play this person again. That's
happened a lot with Marvel for sure. So we just gotta wait and see.
It happens with everything, really. Like with Jared Leto as the Joker.
Well, we still haven't.
Yeah, we ain't see him on screen yet. We ain't.
We haven't seen Captain Marvel yet either. We haven't even we've seen the Joker on screen, at least in trailers. We don't know shit about this new Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we gonna.
He might be good though, because they did that with Heath Ledger, man. I mean, remember they gave him. It was big shit about him being the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Even about just wearing face paint versus actually falling in chemicals. And then after that, it was like, oh my God, he's the best Joker ever. I mean, that's just how it is.
No,
but
some of it was due in part to the fact that he passed away, I think. But he did an excellent job. I can't, he definitely did an excellent job, no question about it.
I'm just excited to see Michael B. Jordan. I mean, I think dude is one of the best actors ever, in my opinion. I really don't have opinions about actors. I'm really proud of that dude. I don't even know him. Seriously. I'm and I think that his role as Killmonger, whatever, I think they're going to make him a bigger character than he originally was, I think.
I hope so. I love that. I love him when he's acting, man. Creed, was an incredible film, and largely due in part to his acting.
Yeah, I mean, he's good, man. He's really fucking good.
I told Emiya here, my dream, being that all these black heroes are already taken. My dream role for him would be for Ezra Miller to die, and for him to be Black Wally West. That would be my dream role for Michael B. Jordan.
I don't know. He's a little. He's not that old, but he doesn't have that. I don't know. I don't know if he'd fit that role though. I don't know. You might maybe you're right. I'm not sure, but I know he used to be a really skinny dude. Back on The Wire, he was really young then, but he was just a skinny little kid. He looked like whatever. But now, once you see him in Creed, man, dude ain't small.
He's a pretty pumped up dude.
Right. He's not a small dude. I don't really see if they put him in a Flash costume. I always thought Flash should have a swimmer's build.
Well, obviously somebody at Marvel really likes Creed because they stole the entire cast, the directors, fucking everybody.
Somebody at Marvel was like, dude, this movie Creed, y'all watch this?
Man, Creed was fucking good, man.
Yeah, Creed was fucking great. I can't wait for the second one, man.
Some people were like, it was okay. Creed was fucking good, man.
It was good. It was. You know what I liked about it was that I feel like they really captured that Philadelphia culture, and I feel like they stayed true to Philly, and it wasn't corny in any way. It didn't seem forced. It seemed like it was pretty authentic to their culture there, and
They even came down to the reality of Philly when he was like, yo, where are we going to go to? These two famous cheesesteak spots. Like, none, because they both suck.
right.
Everybody that I know from Philly says the same thing. Those two famous cheesesteak places fucking suck.
I'm glad they just didn't make it into a Rocky movie. So
Yeah.
I really think that's what they're going to do. They were going to force it to be a Rocky movie and call it Creed, and that's not what they did at all. Sylvester Stallone did not steal the movie
Not
in
at
any
all.
form.
He was a great supporting actor.
He played a perfect supporting role. It was good.
In wrestling terms, you would say that he put over Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he put him over for sure.
Right. So Star Trek was pretty decent.
Man, it was quite good. A lot of cool elements to it.
Emiya, you watched it, didn't you? You went to go watch Star Trek?
That's where he's at right now. He's in the theater watching Star Trek as we speak.
He's recording.
When I was
Oh, there he is.
in LA.
Did you watch it, Emiya?
Yeah, so
What'd you think?
it's all right. I'm not really a Star Trek fan,
Ah,
but I thought the movie was not bad. It was.
Well,
Granted, I didn't think any of them were bad. A lot of Star Trek fans I know, they didn't like the second one. Like the second one seemed to be the one they really hate.
yeah.
They seem to love the first one, and it seems like the third one seems to be a toss-up. Some really like it, some think it's okay. No one really thinks it's bad, but either they really like it or they just think it's all right.
The real question is, who the hell watched Ghostbusters and how terrible was it?
Oh no.
That
Change
is.
the subject.
I bet you Ghostbusters wasn't even that damn bad.
Everyone I've spoken to said it's actually not that bad.
If you're a hardcore Ghostbusters fan, usually you don't like it. And if you don't particularly care about Ghostbusters, some people don't think that it's that bad of a film.
I just don't care about Melissa McCarthy at all. She's like, man, she gets on my nerves. She's always the same character. And to be honest, I've heard the movie isn't that bad either, but I'm just like so unattracted to it. I really have no connection to Ghostbusters. Like really, I'm not even a big Ghostbusters fan. The original.
Makes
Only
Ghostbusters
hardcore-
figures, then you'll go buy them and say, I hate these figures, but I love you, Nick.
I'm not even gonna get the Mezco ones. Mezco's already making really great figures, and I'm like all in on that line. And even so, I'm not even gonna get those Ghostbusters.
We'll buy the NECA figures at $59.99 a pop in Amigo style doll type.
Even so, I'm good. At that point, though, I'd be buying them just because I collect all the Migos, not because I collect
Right, but you will buy them, right? Are we saying you will buy them?
But they won't be making them, so it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
Mezco's already making like really good ones.
Folks,
In fact, if I really liked Ghostbusters, I would actually be buying the diamond releases because I would want to build that rooftop,
Randy, we love you. Randy, please rub your nuts all over my figures.
Hey, Randy actually signed one of my photos of my NECA apes, so yeah, I had that fanboy moment.
For anybody out there that doesn't know what he's talking about, NECA apes are, that's just code for his balls. He had a picture of his nut.
Hey man, there's a reason that line didn't do well at retail,
There's only 2 NECA apes.
Yeah, there's only 2 NECA apes, and they're both international.
They both have a ponytail.
That got real racist real quick, actually. Anyway, all the Mezco stuff, it looks to me like the definitive, like, good-looking Ghostbusters head sculpts, stitching, everything. But if I was really a Ghostbusters fan, I'd be going for the diamond stuff, just because that build-a-diorama set is pretty hard to resist.
If I was really a Ghostbusters collector, I'd just get the Blitzway. See the fucking Blitzway? Those things are crazy.
Well, I'm talking like 6-7 inch figures, but yeah, those look good.
Those are fucking nuts, man. They blow everything out of the water, but that base is really cool. That rooftop base.
It takes 15 figures to build it, but damn.
I think Mezco got to get some control. I don't know. I understand their price and everything, but they got to figure out, like, seriously, like, what to charge $75, $80 for, and they got to understand there's some figures that they're not going to get that money for it. Like, I mean, it's some fans. Like, I know we talked about Space Ghost last time. I'm still trying to find the value in Space Ghost to be $80.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all those effects and all that stuff. It comes to more than any other character.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's all, you know, on a license to license basis on what they charge, but
That's probably true.
yeah.
How much would you actually have to pay Hanna-Barbera to make a fucking Space Ghost figure? Who the fuck cares about Space Ghost?
Hanna-Barbera should be paying you to make a ghost.
Right, like Space Ghost, Blue Falcon, Dynamite, fucking Birdman, all that shit, man. Nobody get Herculoid.
Dude, those would actually be really good. Birdman in the Mezco form, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it
I don't disagree that price is terrible, but I'm just assuming that has to be the case because, man, who the
Space
fuck
Ghost is only $60 or $70.
Oh, $70. That's damn it. That's
Well,
a
it's not
deal.
80 is what I'm saying. It's not 80.
I mean, after
Have
shipping,
Mezco ship it, it'd be fucking 100.
Yeah. All right, that's true. That's true.
Mezco's shipping method is ridiculous.
Well, regardless, I'm not paying that much for any of them.
No way.
Regardless of, like, I'm getting them, but I won't be paying that much for them.
I loved what they showed. You know, the fucking Red Arrow is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Sick, sick
I'm
as
getting that
fuck.
partnership.
Must buy.
I mean,
You know,
the Black Adam looks great.
Black
I think the
Adam.
Red Skull really stands out as one of my favorites for
Oh
sure.
yeah, both of the Red Skulls are cool.
Let's talk about
Joker.
Cool though.
Personally, I think that Darkseid is way too small. If anybody saw it in person, they would know that shit is too small.
It is a little small. It's a little because it's stocky too, so it looks even smaller. But that's only a prototype. That's not final.
Yeah, it looks good though. Looks good. It's just too small.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Deadpool.
it's not gonna be made of plastic either. It's like I forgot what he said it's called. It's in my interview, which I actually should be uploading.
Deadpool is money.
That was
Deadpool
horrible.
looks great.
That was a horrible fucking look. That figure looked bad, man.
It looks good.
That looked
No, it
bad.
looks good in person, dude.
Yeah, in person it looks really good.
Looks nice.
I don't know, man.
It's
That one in
a
that
combination of fabric and pleather material, so that's kind of cool. And Daredevil's the same way too, which I didn't notice until I was actually there.
Daredevil looks nice. But I wanted to get that Captain America, man. But when I seen the price tag on, I said, "Nah, I'm not paying $110 for that damn thing."
Yeah, and the $10 of it, I'm assuming has to be for that packaging. It's like fucking metal.
Yeah, it's like a Royal Dance cookie tin.
Yeah, it's like
where
a
you find your grandma's sewing kit and shit.
It's like a fucking cookie tin, man. Yeah.
Even BD Earl said he saw Jason Bourne. That came out this past weekend too.
Oh yeah, it did.
Oh, did it?
No, it comes out this weekend, doesn't it?
Oh, it came
Yeah,
out.
it just came out Friday, or it comes out
yesterday.
next Friday.
It came out
I think
yesterday.
it came out yesterday.
Yeah.
I heard it's good, but
Yesterday.
it's not as good as the original trilogy. But still good.
I fuck with Jason Bourne, so I'm definitely watching that shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the fuck he's still getting chased and getting around and shit. I'm kind of like,
I didn't like any of those movies.
Man, you know what the best drinking game for a Bourne movie is when they're in the CIA scenes and they're like looking through all the cameras and shit. You gotta take a shot every time someone says, "Holy shit, that's Jason Bourne." Every fucking movie, at least like 6 times.
Damn it, that's Jason Bourne.
Holy shit, get our people out of there. That's fucking Jason Bourne. What the fuck? What is he doing?
That nigga is so not an action star. I don't
What? Matt Damon's is the
He's
shit.
just like that dude that works in the third cubicle in human resources. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I do not see action stuff. Even on a commercial where he walks out into the fight pit and just knocks dude out, I said, get the fuck out of here, man.
Dude, he was always my pick for Hank Pym. You know, because he didn't have to really have any action. You know, more of a pacifist, more of a smarter person. You know, I always wanted him as a Hank Pym. So I don't see him as a fucking action star either. But I like Jason Bourne in the movies.
If I wanted to big up Todd, if I made a Todd Ortiz movie, I'd probably pick him.
Jesus Christ.
That's a huge compliment to Todd, though.
Todd is watching this like, yeah, well, you know what I think you are? I think you're fucking... You should be cast as my fucking Lavelle Crawford.
who's that?
Right, who the fuck is dude?
He's this big-ass comedian.
I'll say some black dude that he ran into.
I know who Lavelle Crawford is. He's the dude
Here's
that
on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was one of the goons for Saul on Breaking Bad, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. His bodyguard or his bouncer or whatever.
Hey man, I would love to be fucking played by Matt Damon in a film, but let's sign me up. The Rick Dom story, as told and played by Matt Damon.
That should be the most unbelievable story. I had to have a disclaimer at the beginning of that movie. You are watching it's mostly fiction.
I mean, I'm down to see it, but I'll probably wait a little bit.
Yeah, I want to watch it, but I'll probably just wait until it's fucking up on Plex.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'll probably end up checking. I'll probably go back and watch all those horrible sped up action scenes in the first movie. Oh my god, it was so horrible.
Have you guys fucking watched Stranger Things? I heard that shit is incredible.
Oh, it's great, guys. Nobody's seen it?
Yeah, I watched it. I finished it the first day they put it up.
Oh, good.
I was gone at Comic-Con, so I didn't get to watch it, but I'm going to start on it today. I heard it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
It reminds you almost like they're going in the direction of it, and then it just spins you off.
Yeah, it's very Stephen King meets Steven Spielberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep.
It's there's a lot of that. It kind of reminded me of Super 8 too, as far as like, a group of kids hanging out and having almost like a coming of age story surrounded in all this sci-fi madness. It's pretty cool.
And when I heard Winona Ryder,
oh yeah,
100% I'm in.
You know what? Winona Ryder just really nails that like frantic, crazy, like nobody should believe this woman about anything.
Yeah, man, that's Winona Ryder in real life and on film.
Exactly. She nails it to the point where like you almost feel like you're falling into her craziness because you're like why doesn't anyone believe this woman? It's good, man. I really like the guy that plays the sheriff too. I forget where I've seen him before, but I have seen him in something, and he's good in this role. He kind of plays that same.
I thought he was just gonna be a major asshole at first.
Yeah, me too. But I'm glad he was one of the only people who was even starting to believe this woman. And then when he goes and checks things out for himself, it's like, holy shit, we got to get in this crazy boat together.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Internet holding it down in the chat, giving us some great details. 11 is the little girl, and I didn't even know it was a little girl until the end of the first episode.
Everybody hasn't seen it though.
Well, I know, but that's just the name of the character. But yeah, I could see her going, doing bigger things in Hollywood. 'Cause she is a very standout child actor.
Yeah, I watched like probably the first 10 minutes of episode 1 and didn't watch much else. We were just too busy.
I think I watched the whole thing in like one night. It's great. I couldn't stop.
You must have been busy shipping my newt.
You want one new? I got an extra, but.
Nah, Rick got me one.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
See, I got an extra one for Boog, and he's like, no, it's all right. I'm good. And so I ended up just buying an extra for a friend of mine here that his son collects mostly just NECA aliens, so I figured he'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I got the one from Rick, and I got one from Darius, and then I got what it really was. Rick was telling me they got kicked out or some shit, so I'm thinking that Rick didn't get anything, so I went ahead and told Darius go for it, and then Darius got it, and Rick was like, no, Rick, no, I wouldn't got it. All right.
Man, the NECA line was absolutely no hassle at all.
That's fucking so me. Yeah, that NECA line, wow. Just fucking nothing. I thought, man, people are going to be going crazy for these turtles. And
They were, but it was more spaced out. It wasn't like everybody there at once trying to get them all at the same time. There was a good variety of, some people were doing the pre-orders and some people were paying with cash there.
And do not be fooled here. Those fucking turtles, probably the most made exclusive at the entire con.
Oh, well, besides those raft sets, I would say. They had a lot of rafts.
Unreal. Unreal how many fucking sold. People were buying turtles like every 2 seconds, and they weren't running out at all. On the last
they did sell out by the end.
Yeah, by the end they sold out, but it was just like, damn, it took them this long to sell out. They fucking must have had a lot.
I think they allotted a certain amount each day.
Yeah. Anybody that went to Comic-Con and told you they couldn't get you the turtle set fucking lied to you. They were pulling your leg, and they didn't want to get you something. because that was the easiest thing to get at the con.
Well, I don't think that they're done with that shit. I mean, I do not believe Randy when he says that they can only make those figures for the con. I just don't see them making enough money to cover the production of the molds. I mean, there's only 3 different molds, but I mean, you have to mold, I guess, slightly tool the belt, buckle, and the weapon holders or whatever, and then the faces were a little different, but I just don't see them selling enough to cover the cost of even making those figures.
No, we'll for sure see them again. But again, according to their license, it's got to be a pack. It's got to be at a con. So maybe next year at Comic-Con or San Diego, or maybe later this year at New York.
Yeah, New York.
I mean, if they come out with some regular color ones, I'll go for it. But I mean, I at first I was going to get them, and then I said, I'm not going to get shit. Not to mention Figma. I mean, Figma showed their Shredder, so I was like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I mean, SHF?
Somebody about New York Comic Con and was saying that they're probably gonna do a good amount of exclusives at New York Comic Con this year.
Because I noticed Mezco wasn't using an SDCC sticker; it just said con exclusive. So I think we'll probably see those exclusives pop up again.
That makes sense.
Let's go better sit their ass down with their $110 for Captain America figure.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Yeah, it was really nice, but I fucking had way too much to worry about for the weekend, and I was like, man, I'm not about to have $100 tied up in a Captain America. Really nice though. Really nice. Fucking.
I wasn't planning on getting it until I was actually at the show, and I did budget out for the show because I had already had my NECA stuff paid for, like I said, and then I had to buy my RAF set, and then Henry gave me money for his set. So I had some extra cash, and I was like, well, shit, I really want this cap like right now. In fact, at the end of the first day, I had like almost $200 left. And on my way out, I went to the Think Geek booth. You saw that they had the real working Star Trek communicator from the original series.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Bluetooth device, so you can answer calls on your phone. You just like flip up the little thing, and speaking of phones, I just dropped mine on the floor. But anyway, yeah, you just flip up your thing. You can answer phone calls with your Star Trek communicator. And I almost bought that shit because I had basically just enough for it. But I was like, no, that's the end of money for the entire trip. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Really nice stuff.
I think you got a lot of cool stuff at their booth.
It really was an exciting con to me. I remember a few years back, it was really exciting. Like, damn, look at all these reveals and everything. It just seemed to be going downhill. And
you know what it is? It's the speed of things getting across the internet now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit gets out and like within seconds it's everywhere. And
Yeah.
a lot of shit
It was like with the SHF stuff, with the Dragon Ball Z stuff. Other than Tien and Yamcha, everything else we've already seen. The Gohan and the Cell were leaked at that show and somewhere in Asia. I don't remember if it was Japan or if it was China, something like that. So we already seen those. That wasn't exciting. And then Tien and Yamcha get pulled.
Rick.
What happened?
They weren't leaked at that show. They were actually on display.
No. I meant like we saw them anyway.
Yeah, we saw them, but they weren't leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't leaked. They were shown at the show. They just
poor choice of words. Yeah.
Yeah, call them out on that, Emiya.
We already seen them, so they wasn't as exciting.
Back to the original point that the shit got over here. We saw it because of the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a show that was not in the Western Hemisphere and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's
even some of those X-Men Legends we already knew about. Like we heard Cyclops was coming from like a few guys, and one of them including Todd, like over a month ago.
Yep.
We heard most of those already. I mean, still cool, but it's like not as exciting.
This is the first time seeing them,
Yeah, it's not as exciting. Still cool. I still want them, obviously.
I don't think anything is fucking leaked. Like, you know what I'm saying? I believe that Hasbro just puts out shit and just gets it out there. Certain things they let slip and they see what the response is going to be and see how people react to it. And I feel like they don't even have the final decision made until they have the reactions from the fans and shit on certain things. So,
man, Hasbro gonna have some guy in a ninja suit go beat the shit out of Todd.
We're just gonna end up finding out that like there was a grease fire in Todd's house.
Right.
And
they tried to put it out with water.
Dwight Stahl is gonna be like rubbing his hands like Birdman across the street. Like, yeah, we got his ass.
Honestly, if they was gonna kill anybody, they'd kill Shartimus before they kill Todd. Really.
Man, I don't even know how these. No offense to Shartimus, he's the homie, but I don't even know how they fuck with Shartimus.
I know.
He was giving him some crazy shit, man, and they were clowning him. If I was Shartimus,
What do you mean?
I wouldn't even fuck with them if I was Shartimus, man. They were clowning him, and
Wait,
they were.
What?
Speak more. I want to hear about
guys.
At the panel.
Yeah, he asked them basically, what's the deal? What's the deal with these head sculpts? They're fucking all so repetitive. They all look the same. He was giving them shit about the head sculpts, and they just fucking start clowning. Emiya, what were they saying? What were they saying, Emiya? They were telling him something like you need to just learn how to paint or something like that. They were fucking on his ass.
He was bashing the sculpts, and they told him that this is you have to bear in mind these are done in a factory and all this stuff. And then he went one part that he went on that said that if you really need your stuff to look perfect, you should probably learn how to paint your figures. I always paint mine when I get mine. I always do some tweaking to mine, is what he was saying.
Yeah. Jesse was like, hey man, that's what it was. He's like, this is a factory. These are mass produced for everybody to buy in a store. He's like, we just don't have that type of time or money to dedicate like that. He's like, even me, working with Marvel, I still paint my stuff. And he just looked at Shartimus. She's like, maybe you should just learn how to paint. And
I don't know why
the whole crowd was like, ah! The whole fucking crowd was just clowning him.
I don't know why that man keeps fucking with Jesse Falcon though, man. Didn't they have it? It was something else with Jesse and him.
Yeah, one point, Jesse had got real pissed off with him, and they wasn't cool for a hot minute and shit.
Yeah. I don't even know why he fucking tells them anything, man. It was really awkward. You know what else is awkward? You see his interview
with
Dwight. Oh yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah.
He pulls out Icon's Harley. And he's like, why don't you take a look at this? Look, they could do double-jointed elbows on their girls. Why can't you do double-jointed elbows on the females?
I mean, it was actually a valid point, but you know what it is with Shartimus? He's got like this awkward shit about him. It's just no finesse in the way that
it wasn't the right time and place. Like he shouldn't have done it on camera because he fucking looked at him and he looked at Shartimus kind of pissed and he took the figure and he's like, dude, don't show this.
Yeah, like, yo, why would you, like, put a fucking DC figure in the middle of the Hasbro Marvel? Like, why would you, like, put us on the spot like this?
Honestly, I think he was being really nice about it. And he was still not happy. He was like...
But he was still visibly, like, peeved about the shit, no question.
Yeah, like,
he seemed like he thought Shartimus was kind of baiting him on camera,
Right.
Yeah. He fucking gave him... He's like, dude, don't show this on the camera, come on.
It was some real, like shock, like, reporter shit to do, like some real, like, underhand, like, shit to do, like, in a way, but it was a valid point, though, even the Miles and Ultimate Peter Parker figures, the Spider-Man figures, those figures are built like some of the female figures that Marvel has put out, even thinner and smaller than some of the female figures, and they have double-jointed elbows, so they can do it, The dude gave a poor excuse as to why they weren't doing it. It was a very poor excuse. But
honestly, the question I would have really wanted to ask, I don't personally care about the double jointed elbows. I can make do, but I want them obviously, but I'm not going to harp on them. But the question I would have asked was like, hey man, why does fucking Mockingbird have incredible ab articulation, but every other female doesn't?
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. Mockingbird. I thought once they dropped that was going to be the indication that everything was going to start moving in that direction. Yeah.
Yeah, Mockingbird has better ab articulation than most men with articulation in the ab. I was just like, that's the real, like, what the fuck's going on here? Because it's something they've actually done, and I think warrants an answer of, hey, what's the deal? I
would have wanted them to like Jesse say, hey, let me see that, and just break the Harley on.
If it was Jesse, If it was Jesse, I don't doubt that he would have done it.
Yo,
I didn't see the interview, so I don't know what the fuck actually happened. This is the first time I heard of it.
I'm with you, Rick. Jesse would do some shit like that. If it was Jesse, he might have actually broke that shit.
Broke it and told him like interview is over.
That shit
would have been funny as fuck.
Right. That'd have been the second funniest Chargers Prime moment. Because when he fell back into that shelf and all those figures fell, oh my god. Hey, listen, me and my girl went to go pick my son up from school, and I'm watching it, and that's where I got a picture. I saved it. Just how he looked at the camera with a how you have an open mouth frown. Right. I was like, damn. Oh my god.
Oh god, oh.
Damn, that shit. Hey, I was like,
that shit had me crying.
I don't know. My favorite Shartimus Prime video has to be his Kevin Smith panel. Have you guys seen that? Uploaded it pretty recently.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. What happened?
It's like you said, he's kind of got that awkward energy, and I guess it sort of works for him on his like YouTube channel or something when he's not really like playing to an audience but a camera. But when he's got like an audience around him, it almost very and like no knock to the guy, but I can understand like it being a little bit awkward being in that situation. But it was just pretty cringeworthy, the entire exchange between him and Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, I think he was trying to force a little too much humor out of it instead of kind of being confident about his question and like but again, I can understand that he was probably fanboying a little bit at the moment, so it's hard to like reel yourself in. But that's really what it is. He was just being very awkwardly fanboyish about getting to talk to Kevin Smith, and I don't think he was as clear in his questions and his speaking as he could have been.
Yeah, that was the caption of the video was "Watch me embarrass myself in front of Kevin Smith."
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. He said it. Great. I feel fine saying it. Yeah. It was fucking cringeworthy, man. It was a good watch. I enjoyed it, and again, I understand being in that situation or whatever, so I can relate to that. But yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable to watch.
Darius is my boy and everything, but I heard that it was some shit about him and the Nihilist.
Oh man, where's Emiya at? Where's Emiya at, man? That was probably the funniest thing that ever happened at a panel that I did. Man, this dude is over here. Before that shit, they show that stupid guy with the lion eye.
Titus.
Yeah, Titus guy, that stupid figure. I guess Emiya's not here, but it was hilarious, man.
They got like the fucking most like
the guy.
Yeah, I mean they got a Kid Nova in that wave, so they put him as his villain.
The guy starts asking, "Hey man, can anybody guess the BAF?" People are giving their answers. "Hey man, a new Thanos?" No, not a new Thanos. Another blah blah blah. No, not a Galactus. Darius goes up. Yo man, is it Analyst? And the panel is just the whole panel's like, what? Analyst?
Analyst?
Analyst.
Superhuman math teacher? No.
Analyst. And they just go, do you mean a nihilist? And he goes, yeah, man, analyst. And then the entire room is just like, analyst. And I wish Emiya was here, man. It was
not a good panel for old school collectors, huh?
No.
Everyone just embarrassing themselves.
People corrected him on the Annihilist thing first, and then they said, "Oh, you need a nihilist."
And he's yeah, analyst.
He never said that. I think he just kind of just stopped talking, and then they just kind of continued on. That's from my memory anyway. I don't remember him responding to them.
The whole fucking place started erupting and laughing. It's crazy.
You're echoing.
Crazy. Who's that?
That's Emiya. Yeah, the whole place started laughing. It was nuts, man.
Analyst.
Analyst?
Complete with fucking microscope and all.
The analyst.
Analyst.
Hey, I gotta ask you real quick though. Did you watch Ultima Lucha 2?
No, I did not.
Oh man, you're not watching that Lucha Underground? Never mind then.
I don't have El Rey.
No, I watch it on WatchWrestling.com or whatever. But,
Well, wrestling. I don't mean to cut y'all off, but we're gonna do the questions. I don't know how long y'all staying on, but Power come on in like 9 minutes.
Yeah, let's get.
Let's do the
shit.
questions, man.
Let's do
Me,
questions.
I fuck with Power all day, so let's do these questions.
I've heard that's good. Maybe I'll have to check it out. But I'm waiting for my girlfriend to
Oh,
come
you
over
don't
so we can
watch it.
some
It's for cool
Scream.
people. It's for
No,
cool
you guys gotta
people.
get on that
Don't even watch
Scream
it.
bullshit.
Don't. You're gonna be confused because a lot of cool shit's gonna be happening, and you're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. So
That's my pick for Blade, man. Omari Hardwick. That's my pick for Blade.
really,
Is anyone here watching Preacher by any chance?
He a little too light skinned for
I
Blade.
watch Preacher. I like
Nobody
Preacher.
here's watching Preacher?
I am.
I haven't watched it.
I like it.
Yeah, you like it good. Because Neck is making some figures for it, Pharaoh. You're there day one, right?
But I don't care anything about owning a fucking Cassie or a Preacher figure or Tulip. So great for NECA.
Yeah, they're doing Cassidy and they're doing Jesse. So there you go. You know what? I'm gonna tell them to send them directly to you. Some early review samples.
Good. I'll sell them on eBay.
All right, let's get some questions going. Somebody asked me if I got those turtle sets and what I think, and yes, I did get them, and they're awesome. They're probably some of the most articulated turtles that anyone's ever made. There's no what's it called, like a diaphragm or anything. It's a hard shell, but the bottom of the shell is kind of soft so that you can still articulate the legs, and then it kind of has this double like ball peg action, so you can kind of pop the legs out, kind of like SHF does a little bit, where you can pop the legs out like a little bit lower to give them some more range of motion. So that's pretty cool. And then all the cool accessories and the spinning nunchuck effect for Mikey is pretty cool. I know somebody's about to speak up when I said they're the most articulated. It's probably not as much as Revoltech. Yeah, it's fine, but as far as like a classic look of turtles, yeah, they're good. SHF is probably still going to be even more articulated than that, though. Here's an interesting one from Colossal Customs. Have any of you guys ever had your girlfriend tell you to stop collecting or anything negative about your collection? Girlfriend or significant other or whatever?
That bitch better stay in line.
That's
No. No.
a deal breaker right there, right? If she says something, you gotta go.
She's told me I need to slow down. I mean, when you start getting to the point to where your collection is going from where it's supposed to be out to other places in the house, and I mean, the cart, you go out for some actual adult shit. You're going to buy stuff for the household, and you look up half the cart is action figures when you had no reason to be buying some shit. They might say a little something, but nah, she never told me to stop collecting.
Yeah, definitely not stop collecting, but
In the age that we live in, where everybody's a fucking nerd, I don't even imagine. Like, unless you're like an older man with like an older woman, I don't really see the stigma in it.
Yeah. There's something of a difference between like meeting a new girl or whatever and introducing her to your collection like right out of the gate. But if it's like your longtime significant other and they're like known this shit about you forever, then there's really no reason for them to start all of a sudden being like, hey, okay, this shit's got to stop. We've been dating for a year. I can't believe you're still collecting. Whatever. If you meet somebody like that, then that's probably not the person to be with. Probably not a cool person to hang around.
Yeah.
The most it'll be is, maybe I'll be like taking shots or like doing shit with the collection, and she'll want me to do shit with her. Like, what I'm saying? That shit happens all the time. But
yeah.
To stop, to just say stop collecting altogether, that's not happening. But,
you should see the face that my girlfriend makes every time I'm like, all right, man, it's time to get a new detail. She's like, oh my god.
The only fucking even from all my friends and all my local people that I know that fucking collect and stuff like that, the only people that I've ever seen actually have a significant other act like a jackass is pretty much just when like the significant other that they're dating is religious. And they're just like, the only thing that you should be worried about buying is the Bible and God.
What? You should be buying God instead of action figures.
Yeah,
all,
I bet I
all those
got
$20 you're
Jesus
spending on
figures.
those legends, you could throw into the collection jar at fucking church.
yeah, those are the only people I've ever seen, and nothing against religion. I have my own just like everybody else, but those are the only kind of females or anything like that I've ever seen actually like get crazy on a dude when they're like particularly religious.
Right. Well, they probably don't want you to be like worshiping false idols, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Hey, somebody
even our
said that though? That you're worshiping false idols because you have action figures?
no, well,
That's been an argument of some religious people.
one of our fellow.
I mean, I've gotten into psychological arguments about it. Forget religion. I've had a girlfriend who was basically like. I mean, I didn't have my like actual dad growing up. I moved away from where he lives when I was like 6 years old. So I've only ever really talked to him through like phone, and then he comes to visit maybe like once, if that, a year. So I have a good relationship with him, even though I didn't grow up with him in my household for a lot of it. But I had this one girlfriend who was trying to spin that fact as basically like, oh, because you didn't have a good fatherly role model growing up, you worship action figures of Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. And I'm like, what? Fuck out of here! Come on.
Well,
You really let Randy say that to you, man?
our fucking fellow admin, Vinny, he's a particularly religious person. He's asked us this question before.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if we think what we're doing is like worshiping a false idol, like, no, I don't fucking worship these toys. I just want them.
I don't worship these motherfuckers. I ain't walking in bowing and praying, oh, thank you, Batman. Well, I mean, Batman. That's my dude.
Bat God.
But I'm not finished. I mean, it's not like I'm going to get into an accident and be like, please, Batman, let me live.
I mean, the only one that's going to get me to stop, quote-unquote, worshiping false idols is if Charlton Heston comes down the mountain with 10 commandments, and he's like, idolaters!
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody gets that reference. That's from the 10 Commandments. You guys all got to watch
It's an older
It
film.
was just lame as fuck.
It's a very old reference.
It's an old reference.
Come on.
You guys all got to wise up.
What else we got?
All right, we got a good flow of questions coming in. Emiya and Rick could probably speak on this the most, but what's your opinion on how Hot Toys and SHF didn't show anything at all as far as Civil War Spidey or, really anything?
That was fucking strange. I don't know. That is very weird. They didn't even show Doctor Strange until
Doctor Strange was shown.
at another show.
But the reason they showed it at the other show because that's Hot Toys show.
Yeah.
They saved it for their own show. When I spoke with Howard, he said Spider-Man was not ready yet. They're working on new technology for Spider-Man. So when I'm assuming it's probably more to do with how the suit fits on, similar to how there was a jump in advancement from all the Spider-Mans they've done before, but apparently there's going to be another jump in advancement, and apparently going to be pretty revolutionary. That's what he's claiming. So, but the reason all the stuff was shown at the Hong Kong show is obviously because they would rather save that stuff for the Hong Kong show. That's their show. So.
Which, by the way,
they did show other stuff. It's not they didn't show anything. Just as far as Marvel stuff, they didn't show much. I mean, that whole Batman Joker thing, that was actually first shown in SDCC. That was actually the first place
not to mention the Doctor from Back to the Future.
Yeah, I mean, they did have reveals for SDCC. It just wasn't much in the Marvel side. It was mostly in the DC and general movie side. So.
All right. Let's go, Fabio.
Oh, my bad. I went to go urinate. What happened?
We answered the question.
All right. Well, next question then. Thoughts on the Marvel Legends 12-inch Captain America from Sweggy Spoder. He picked him up in the Spidey, but the detail on the cap blows him away. He's impressed with Hasbro. I'll tell you right now, you shouldn't be impressed with Hasbro. You should be impressed with Gentle Giant because they did the skulls. But more importantly, you should be impressed with Renee, who we know from the Articulated Icons design team. Go check out the interview. But yeah, he actually did all the 3D sculpting and all that stuff for all those 12-inch figures. So cool. We know him.
Man. Don't nobody go to McDonald's and say, man, I want to speak to the dude who came up with the McNugget. You just say, you say McDonald's has great nuggets. So
I was trying to relate it to somebody that we're familiar with. That's all.
Oh, man, don't listen.
You're making me give away all my secrets, man.
Nah. No, you're right though, man. That whoever sculpted that Captain America, man, I don't know. He looks kind of, I don't know. I like the figure, but that unmasked head looks a little sweet, man. But just saying, he's all cockeyed and shit,
Mhm.
almost Hussein. But you know,
I mean, I know
it's
that
a,
Iron Man is pretty good. I think I saw Glenn Webb's review on it. I think his biggest complaint was that the reds on it are kind of different as far as like what's on the torso and then what's on the limbs. But overall, I think they did do a good job with these 12-inch figures. You know, the return of the icons line, so to speak. And the Deadpool they showed off looks pretty good too, but the head on it looks a little big. I don't know if that's final or what, but in the booth it looked like they just upsized the original Deadpool Legends head from Hasbro, and then they kind of retrofitted it to a new body, so it doesn't really fit.
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I think it's a good line. We'll see how well it does. Articulation seems good on it. It's really about you
I
know.
was talking with somebody else recently about that Captain America. Who the fuck was I just talking to about that? They said it was really nice, though, whoever it was. I don't know. Who was that? I don't know.
It's the same with those you know, the 18-inch NECA stuff. Is, you know, where the fuck are you gonna put it? I would like it if they did a Giant Man or, you know, Ant Man or whatever in that
Yeah, no
scale.
question. They do that.
12-inch.
That's going to be very sought after. If they do a Giant Man, classic Giant Man, even if they
Oh
did the
yeah.
yellow and blue costume, whatever,
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Any Giant Man figure, it's on.
Yep. All right. You know, here's a good one from Zirak Imran. Oh, just kidding. It's from Internet. What are your thoughts in regards to perhaps expanding the online store to include custom dioramas and props for sale from the A.C.B.A. dive structure community?
Man, we was just talking about this too. Not as far as putting the stuff in the store per se, but just trying to put together a better network for people to sell their
Right.
documents and value them and you know put a value on them and what have you. But I don't know. That would be somewhere down the line. I mean, I guess we would have to start with some smaller things. You know, smaller prop pieces. It's funny because I talked about this one other time too, but I guess I could talk about it now because it's just not going to happen, and we're moving in our own direction. But I mentioned this one other time before, but if you never heard, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, um, maybe it was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't know. I have a video on my channel somewhere on here where me and Shartimus got invited to Dave Cortez's studio after New York Comic Con one of these years, and we hung out there for like a good 3 hours, and he showed us a bunch of shit and chopped it up with us, and it was like definitely one of my most amazing collecting experiences.
Just real quick, let everybody know who Dave Cortez is in case
Oh,
people don't know who
Dave
we're talking about.
Cortez is he's an artist. He's a sculptor. He worked originally on Toy Biz Marvel Legends. He's done tons of sculpt work. I'm sure you've probably had some figure in your hand that he's sculpted before. I think when we were there, the most recent thing he was working on then was I don't know. Watch the video. Find it on my channel. Maybe I'll link it in the underbar of this when this goes when this is officially fully recorded and on YouTube. I'll link it in the underbar of this video. But anyway, he's a sculptor. So we got to chop it up with him for like a good 3 hours, maybe almost 4 hours, and we were talking to him about all of the shit he was doing with casting and different things, and how the displaying community was like really booming right now, and it's it's kind of wide open to um, make money doing a lot of custom casts and all this stuff. And this was before. This was at least a year before Tamashi started doing impact effects and lightning and all of that stuff. We literally had like this whole in-depth conversation with Dave about him producing some of these things and basically getting them to me and Russ on consignment, and then we would just sell them and come back to him for re-up, basically. And he was like super interested in doing it. And we put together this whole proposal and sent them like a bunch of ideas for this and that. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen. It didn't really, uh, you know, come to fruition. I don't know exactly what happened. He got busy. We both got busy. We had different things going on. And now you see this whole boom with all of these effects and all of these effect parts and all of these people doing casts. Not to say that people weren't doing casts before, but I'm telling you, we were on this shit with a detailed list of over 100 different things that we wanted him to make for us and do and mass produce. And one thing that he was really interested in doing, getting back to the original question, was he wanted to do these little, basically sets of little small diorama pieces of different things, like, you know, a small rocky surface, you know, different things that he could produce and mass produce. And then as time goes on, it would be sort of like a build a diorama type of thing. Like you could get another part and you could keep putting all the parts together and shit, but we could, you know, sell them as one small part at a time or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe I'm giving away a whole bunch of shit here and somebody else is going to go and fucking take this idea now. It is what it is. But yeah, to answer your question, that was something that we wanted to do like almost 3 years ago already. So I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it's some way we'll be able to work it out with all of this 3D printing and all of this stuff going on. Anything's game, and you know, it's a lot of people independently doing their own thing, artists doing their own thing and making money. Or look at this guy. What's this dude on Instagram with the effects?
Can of Beams?
Yeah, Can of Beams is doing his thing.
Yeah, I can't. I was also gonna say Dave Castle with his, you know, head sculpts and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
of course, Dave. Of course, that he comes to mind. Dave is doing his thing. He's got a very excellent track record. He's got excellent cast. I forgot to mention that I got some cast from Dave this week. I got the extra Deadpool heads and I got the extra tacos from Dave this week. So yeah, it's definitely something that should be explored, even if it's not by us. I mean, it is what it is. It's just a free market. It's open market. Do what you do. You know, I'm not hating on anybody or trying to stop anybody from getting it.
Well, I mean, you know how it is. Some of our biggest detractors are also subscribers to this channel and this podcast. So
Right?
it's
Yeah,
one of
that
those
too.
things.
But yo, internet, we got to get him on the podcast with us or whatever. We spoke about this in briefly in like a little message or whatever. But if you guys don't know, he's got a pretty fucking big Instagram account. So it's ENDTERNET, Internet. So he's at like 56K followers right now, and it's mostly it's pretty much all comic based. It's all comic books. It's right within the world of everything that we doing. It's just not, you know, they don't really display action figures. I'm pretty sure he has his own personal Instagram where he displays some figures and stuff too. But yeah, we got to get him on the podcast one of these days.
You know, I also told you about the that 3D printing company that I met here locally for Free Comic Book Day. They were really interested in an opportunity like that, you know, for them to supply our web shop with that kind of thing. Really, anybody that's, you know, even Dave Castle, instead of having to do his sales through eBay, he could do it through the web shop, and I don't know if that'll work out better for him.
Yeah,
but
we
in my opinion, it might.
We actually discussed that. We actually discussed cutting out eBay altogether and cutting out him having to pay any fees through PayPal by utilizing this particular app that my girl was trying to put me onto, and basically just sell through the A.C.B.A. web shop, and in turn we would take a smaller percentage than whatever he was paying out to eBay and PayPal, and
Right.
you know, so that type of thing. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, there's so many little loopholes and different things people are doing right now to get their full amount of money and cut out the middleman and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, Etsy is another thing that I see a lot of people using.
Yep.
You know, really any of those people could pitch in and almost like we'd be selling it on consignment, you know?
Right. So.
Even I'm sort of, you know, low-key working on that. That's why I gave my girlfriend a couple of Body Kun and Body Chan, because I'm trying to get her to stitch some bodysuits for them and wired capes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the show one time before too. If
yeah.
anybody who can fucking sew, who's good with a needle and thread, like, it's money to be made, you know.
It's a hustler's game.
Yeah, definitely.
Gary
Next
Vaynerchuk.
question.
Next question. Let's see. What is the plans on the proposed A.C.B.A. convention that's been proposed by Todd Ortiz? You guys heard about that?
I mean, this is something that we've discussed for a long time. It's something that we definitely want to do, but it's no immediate plans for that right this moment. I mean, first and foremost, we would need to just kind of we would need to just get into a con, get into San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con, and just have a booth and just have like some really extravagant, nice displays that will totally shit on anything Hasbro's done in any of the years.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the first stepping stone. Then, of course, we would have some little things for sale, some T-shirts and cutout packs and stuff, there for sale or whatever. That would be the first really like introductory thing that we want to do at a con. But we're not going to just jump out the window and act like we're going to be able to do a A.C.B.A. con or some shit like it. That costs a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I don't think people understand just how fucking much cons cost. They're nuts.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
just get a booth. You know what I'm saying? Like for you to
Yeah.
do that, you have to keep in your mind that you're gonna lose. Like you probably might break even. You might you just got to get it in your head that more than likely you're gonna take a loss.
Going to Comic Con and going to like New York Comic Con, it's all about the exposure and marketing.
Yep.
It's really not about making money, sadly, which is what we would need to do. We fucking talked about A.C.B.A. con since like fucking like 2011. It's been a long time we discussed it. It just shit costs a lot of money.
Well, I've been kind of working on getting us a booth at Frankenstein, so that would be that real first step.
And you know what?
Would be something that we have to run regularly.
It would definitely make sense for y'all to do it on the left coast right now because you and the Beltran brothers, y'all already done have pretty good experience with setting up and doing that stuff, as a team already. So it would actually make sense to probably start over there, and then at some point we'll get something going over here in New York maybe. But yeah, that would be the first thing, just to really get a few diorama makers together and a few poses together and put together like 3 really solid, nice live displays, and just have some literature there, have some things talking about A.C.B.A. and have a few things for sale, and that's what it is. People will get hip to that. Kids will think it looks cool. Adults will think it looks cool. It's a very I mean, collecting in general is just becoming so popular, man. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, sorry, I'm posing my Mezco cat. Moving on. Let's see. What's the deal with the new SHF DBZ? Are you guys happy about it?
Which one?
I think
we talked about it before. He's right?
I mean, the whole Yamcha and Tenshinhan thing is why is this a surprise to people? They were going to be done. I mean, they already said on different occasions this line is meant to go on. They already have plans in the next 10 years. 10 years. That means they're going to do everyone is coming. They're going to eventually get around to doing everyone. And again, not just everyone. They're going to do multiple versions of all those popular characters. So we're going to get all these figures again. And we're going to get all the characters everyone wanted. So it's not a surprise. I mean, if you're asking about, why they were taken off the display or things like that, that's one thing. But we're just asking, like, the state of the line. The state of the line is doing well. Everyone should be happy. They're doing everything possibly everyone would realistically dream of. They're doing.
the only thing that they asked was just what we thought of.
Close your shit, Emiya. You got him echoing.
Yeah, the only question they asked was what we thought of the reveals. I don't think they brought up like it being a surprise or anything like that.
It's doing well. It's doing well.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. Cool reveals. Stuff that like Emiya said. we all knew was coming eventually. Cool to see them. A lot of people happy.
Martin Heredia wants to know if we think we'll get a new Blade figure. You know, they had one there at the booth, but from talking to the guys there, it sounded like it was just a custom, made for the show. But it's not unlikely that we'll see some variation of that particular custom release later on. It looked good though. It looked like it had the Bucky cap arms on a new torso, I think.
Yeah, they were fucking clowning on people asking for Blade at the panel. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna keep making a new version of Blade for every display every year, and you're never gonna get it. They were like, next year we're gonna do this version of Blade. The fourth year we're gonna do the female version of Blade. It was really, really fun. I was with I don't know if they did it at the panel or if I was with Lewis when they said it. But me and Lewis were talking to Dwight for a minute. And I don't remember if it was there or if it was at the panel that they said this, but it was really funny. Like, yeah, we're gonna do fucking every version of Blade, and you're never gonna get it. Seemed like they do have plans for a Blade to come out, but they just said that one that was in the case in particular was just a random for the custom for the display. Last year when they had that Sauron, when I asked them, they claimed it wasn't a custom. So it's interesting that this Blade is. And that Sauron wasn't. That Sauron was more of a work in progress, actually. I'm sure we'll get a fucking Blade eventually. It's better.
Yeah, we've got to.
Honestly, it's fucking better that they're taking this long to make a Blade. We don't get something stupid. We're not gonna get that one with the on the Nick Fury body. Hopefully, if they keep, taking their time to make it.
Moving on. Who's at the top of your list for most wanted legend following the SDCC reveals? For me, it's got to be that Jim Lee Cyclops. That's number one.
That's a great one. For me personally, that fucking Punisher, man. You gotta. I'm sure Fabio understands because he saw it in person. But when you see that Punisher in person, it's like, oh fuck, like what a fucking sculpt on this. Looks just like him.
Yeah.
Also, really excited for that Cyclops. That Cyclops, awesome. More Jim Lee stuff, the better.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why they kept saying this, but the new Doctor Strange they got coming out with the cloak and everything, they kept calling it a classic Doctor Strange, but it just looks like the same Doctor Strange we just got with the cloak. I saw the hands on it were a little different, rather the cuffs, the wrist gauntlets or whatever they are. He didn't have those. Those were actually just painted on.
I'm not a fan of that Doctor Strange. I wasn't a fan of it before, and I'm not a fan of it now with this shitty cloak.
I mean, if that cloak is removable, I'll put it on the classic Doctor Strange from the Sentinel Wave or whatever. Not Sentinel Wave. Apocalypse Wave? Whatever. The Toy Biz one.
Yeah, the one with the rubber cape.
Yeah, with that terrible fucking cape. I don't even have it displayed with a cape because it's just terrible. But I'm excited for that new cloak. What else is coming out?
Fucking Black Suit Spidey finally.
Yeah, Black Suit Spidey looks good. That Jackal looks good.
That Jackal was really cool.
Not so much a new figure, but I'm excited for the new body mold that they have, which is first going to be used for that Spider UK. And it's from talking to them, they told me it was. Well, you'll see this in my interview soon, but they said that it's just to add more variety at the base level body, like the Bucky cap is like the base level body, so they're not retiring the Bucky cap. They're going to be used alongside each other for that.
Yeah, they just said that they've been using it too much.
Right. Well, fucking every wave has at least one Bucky cap, right?
Yeah.
That here than others. Like Havoc is the latest one.
That Angela's really nice.
Yeah, Angela looks nice. Well, there's a lot of new sculpting, so that does look nice.
It's entirely new. They said at the panel.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah, they said at the panel it's entirely new. That fucking Dazzler, man, has fucking bell bottoms and roller skates.
Yeah, that looks good with that effect piece.
Man, that's a must buy right there.
Mm-hmm. I wish they'd done the '90s Dazzler because I was so. Well, first of all, they had the jacket sculpt already from Rogue, so they could have done that. But I could see them, not wanting to release them too soon, back to back.
Yeah. It's not really like the first few Hasbro waves where they could do variants of a character in a wave. So.
Right. I think it's probably better too. They're looking at through those the variants and all that stuff. Let's see.
What about you, Boog? What do you like from what they've shown?
What am I really looking forward to?
Titus.
Definitely not.
He wants Titus.
But in the same vein, though, I am happy to get the Kid Nova. So I mean, he is a direct antagonist for Kid Nova. So I mean, I guess I am not really disappointed, but maybe I need to just go and read that read Nova's book, and maybe Titus will grow on me. But I know a lot of people weren't really happy with Warlock, but I'm pretty happy to be getting that.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, it's a weird choice, but I think it's cool. I think if we get some more of that New Mutants team, it'd be even better.
Anything X-Men related, I'm all for it. I don't care how obscure it may be. I'm all for anything X-Men related. So, I don't know.
It's one of those figures / characters that you never actually imagined you'd get.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You'd think, man, Marvel Legends is gonna end before I get this fucking character.
Pretty much, yeah. Now it's looking like this shit's never gonna end, and we're gonna get it, right?
Yeah, it seems like there is no sign of it ending anytime soon. Somebody at the panel, I know somebody was live streaming it, but live streaming is very stupid because that room that we're in has terrible connection. So
Yeah.
live streaming it in the end didn't work. No offense to the people that were live streaming it, but it was stupid in the end to try. I couldn't even fucking send pictures to Boog or Todd or anything to from the panel. But they said somebody asked at the panel, hey, when are you guys going to stop releasing so many waves close together? We can't fucking take it. We love these figures, but it's too much. And they were pretty much like, yeah, so many movies come out, we actually can't stop. Like,
that's basically true. They said that they kind of have to follow along the movie schedule,
Yeah, that's what these figures are tied to now, technically. So it seems like, for the time being, no offense to the tighter walleted people, but these legends aren't going to stop. They're going to keep coming at the pace that they've shown before, at least. I doubt it's going to be any faster than it already is, but it seems like, the pace that it's at is what it's going to be.
Dude, these Legends waves are becoming like the Pacific Rim kaiju. They're just getting closer and closer together, and pretty soon we're going to have a double event, then a triple event. We're going to get 3 waves all at once.
Well, I mean, Space Venom and Juggernaut's practically the same time.
That was our first double event.
Yeah, we're already hitting the double waves.
Yeah.
I mean, I do empathize with the people that have tighter wallets, but it's just for those that don't know, this is definitely gonna be the normal.
Yep.
They didn't sugarcoat it for the person that asked. I don't remember who it was, or Artemis or somebody, but they definitely didn't sugarcoat the answer, and they just kind of said, well, that it sucks to hear that you guys don't have the money for it and that it's coming out too soon for you, but this is what it is.
It's coming out, but it's one of those things where you could just wait. You don't have to get it as soon as it comes out, because if you get it as soon as it comes out, then you're going to almost be forced to buy like 3 waves back to back. But these waves hang around for a while. You could wait like a month between when the wave was quote unquote released to actually buying it, and you wouldn't really miss out.
Aside from somebody like fucking Venom, I mean not Venom. I mean aside from somebody like fucking Deadpool.
Right.
You don't really have to worry. You're gonna find everything eventually.
Yeah, just get the essential ones first, and then hold off on the rest for a while. That's if you can be patient, because that's another one of the big problems that collectors have, is that we're fucking impatient. That's why I bought this $100 fucking Mezco cap that I'm playing with right now, because I didn't want to wait another like month or two and only pay $60, or not even that. Yeah,
you gotta be patient. You gotta be smart about how you make your purchases and where you make them from. Even me, look at me. I never be in a hurry to get shit. If something comes across my lap and I get something early, like through my Connect, where I'll get some things early and review it or something like that, that's one thing. But like, as far as the waves go, I just I take my time and pace myself and
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we're never going to be first. We don't live in the Philippines. We don't live in China. We don't live in Singapore. We're never going to be first. So you might as well just stop caring about being first.
Right. Being first is the silliest shit. I mean, it's really only important if you try to make a career out of reviewing shit, I guess. But I mean, like, other than that, it is what it is. If you just want them because you want them and because you enjoy collecting and you want to display them and take pictures or whatever the case may be, you definitely don't need to be first to do that. You know, it's not necessary. Look at me. I literally just opened the Space Venom Wave case recently. I just got a Wolverine and a Deadpool. I still don't have the full wave. You know, so just take your time. There's no reason to be in a hurry.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take one more question, and I guess we can wrap it up.
Okay. Let's see. A lot of people just kind of chiming in the figures that they want to see. You know, Man-Ape is almost assured.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
new Moon Knight. Obviously, we're going to get a Black Panther wave, so a lot of people are wishing for a classic comic Black Panther. Another one.
We need a new Kingpin.
Yeah, new Kingpin for sure. You know, another one that I was actually, getting back to the question, what we liked at the show, one that I was actually really impressed with was the Doctor Strange movie figures. They said that they were the production samples in the case, and they actually looked pretty good. The flesh tone was really nice on that Doctor Strange.
You could tell that they were production, and I mean the movie comes out pretty soon, so.
Yeah. So we should start seeing that wave around October. They said. So we do have a little bit of time right now between waves, but yeah, these first three hit us all at once. What else? Moving on. Questions. Let's see. Thoughts on how Hasbro won't let us finish off the MCU figures, like Vision, Quicksilver, Yellow Jacket, Ronin, Yondu. Do we even care about those?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but you would be hard pressed to get a Yondu. That's just not. I mean, not a movie one. We actually might get a. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the classic, regular 616 version.
Yeah. I think we will get a movie Yondu for the Guardians 2 wave, though, because they were holding back the 3 figures
Yeah,
from that wave.
he's a part of the team in the new movie.
Yeah, so we'll probably see him there.
Okay.
Then the other 2 are probably going to be another Star.
I feel like mostly when Hasbro does their movie figures, they don't put the same effort into it as they do with most of the regular Legends figures, honestly. So.
Yeah, a lot of the new sculpting and stuff always goes to the movie figures, which makes sense because you can't really reuse a lot of body molds for movie figures as you can comic figures, but it is what it is.
I mean, I think there's only so much this company can do.
Yeah.
I mean, releasing all these comic figures and a few movie ones. I mean, honestly, just these figures are all going to come eventually. It sucks that they're not out now, like we would want them to, but they're coming out eventually.
All right, so we got a question here from Gato Perro, which means cat dog, of course. And he wants to know, Rick, I think you and me are going to have to quarterback this one, but he wants to know our thoughts on the reveals from WWE figures, Mattel, which is really the only line that Mattel has left for collectors.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah, that's something we should maybe touch on a little bit is the end of Matty Collector, but
I don't know what the fuck happened with Matty.
Yeah. Well, let's answer this question real quick. Rick, what did you like as far as WWE figures?
A lot. I liked practically everything that they'd shown. The only thing I didn't particularly like was that fucking head sculpt on Bayley.
Yeah, the head sculpt on that new Sasha's ass, too.
Yeah.
I got to talking to Bill McKenna a little bit. I didn't get to interview him officially, but I talked to him a little bit because they had the new Jericho on display there that comes with the jacket and everything. He had the jacket on, so I had to ask him if he's actually going to have the tattoos on his left arm, that Chris Jericho's been adding to over the years. And they said, nope, they can't do any of his tattoos on his arm except for the Fozzy F that's on his hand, because everything else is like a third-party logo. I guess he has a couple of bands logos or whatever on his arm. The only thing they can do is the Canadian flag on his bicep, on the inside of his bicep. But Bill McKenna was like, yeah, we're not just going to do a Canadian flag on his arm.
It's like the CM Punk Pepsi.
Yeah, that and the Cobra and all that stuff. So same exact reason, and basically involves the entire arm, so they can't do it. which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. They did reveal the Elite Harlem Heat 2-pack, and from what I've heard, that's going to be like their last Elite 2-pack for a minute.
Yeah,
What was the new defining moments that they revealed?
Because they want the gold, sucker.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
Don't you do it. But yeah.
Don't do it.
I mean, a lot of good stuff. That Braun Strowman looks good.
Yeah, that Braun Strowman looks really good.
Except now they have to do another Braun Strowman because he just came out on Raw with a new haircut. Fuck you, Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and he beat up the new generation's version of Gilbert.
Yes. The guy with no chin.
Jake Ellsworth, or what's his name?
I don't know. I just know he had no chin, like literally zero chin. It just goes straight mouth to throat.
Yeah, he looked like that naked guy from Futurama.
All right, so let's talk about this Matty Collector thing a little bit, because basically they've said they're giving up on the Matty Collector avenue, their website, their subscription services, their lines, which is Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, and obviously that's completely taking the rug out from underneath anybody who subscribed to Thundercats earlier this year, because now they're just basically saying, all right, yeah, you get this one wave, these exclusives, and that is it. The new company that picked up Masters of the Universe and Four Horsemen, which is Super 7, the guys that do the reaction figures, take them or leave them. But they're Masters fans, so they got the license for Masters, but Thundercats is just up in the air right now. What do you guys think about that?
I told people, man, people just don't listen. That shit wasn't gonna succeed. Now, people like to believe that the stuff that they have nostalgia for, people really like, but at the end of the day, people didn't care. And with Mattel, if people don't care, just assume, it's going to die.
They said they're still going to be doing the DC Multiverse line a little bit here and there, but I think this might be the last year.
It seems like they're going the Hasbro route. Whenever there's a movie out, they'll be releasing a wave with some comic figures and some movie ones.
Right.
That's what it's looking like. That King Shark looked crazy.
Yeah, it did, but that line is just so unforgivable. There's so many stinkers in it that it's just not worth getting them at all. And now, I mean, if they're really ending this, it might be kind of smart to pick them up before they start going up in value, I guess, even though they're terrible. But like that Harley, for some reason, people really want it. The Multiverse Harley, which looks like absolute garbage. I guess people really like it.
Yeah,
if that's representative of the quote unquote adult collector action figures from Mattel, then I've stopped buying those figures for a long time. So I've been voting with my wallet. I think other people need to do the same and just stop giving Mattel your money. Don't even buy those multiverse figures. Fucking wait for DC Collectibles or whatever they're called now to pull out those $40+ movie figures, because those are at least going to be worth it.
Yep.
If you're really keen on building, a DC Cinematic Universe line, that's going to be your way to go. DC Multiverse, I'm telling everybody in the chat right now, just stop buying DC Multiverse. I did it out of necessity to do some store displays, and I was just so utterly disappointed with them. Everything from the style of the articulation on them and everything is just so outdated. Just stop giving them your money.
Please, yes. It sucks so bad.
I had some guy on Reddit try to defend the, as Shartimus Prime calls them, the DC UC crotch pit joints. Some guy on Reddit was trying to defend that as, being somehow superior to the ball joints that Legends uses. And I'm like, dude, you are so misguided. You are just so off base right now.
That's disrespectful to even...
At the end of the day, we can all argue opinion, but, it's fact that they don't move as much as a ball joint.
No.
There's no denying that they move more. They move less than a fucking ball joint.
Yeah. And it just looks ugly, too, a gaping crotch pit for a reason. It just looks ugly.
It's comparable to what I was saying about this Hobgoblin figure. And, the old Toy Biz one didn't have that crotch pit, but it had those big ball joints on
right.
Legs and stuff, and when you look at this new Hobgoblin, how streamlined and how just sleek it looks, it's just like, wow, this is light years ahead of what Toy Biz was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what that's what Mattel needs, is to step their shit up and just trash all of those old molds and just step it up.
Mhm. But obviously that's not an option anymore because they're cutting costs as much as possible now. So
Yeah.
really expect it to get worse.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Well, that's about it for us then.
All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, I guess we'll give it to 11:59 p.m. tonight for you to get in on the raffle for the SDCC 2016 Marvel Legends The Raft box set. All you got to do is click through the link and our profile on the A.C.B.A. Instagram. There was a few posts up in the group and on the fan page on Facebook as well. If you find the post, then you'll find the link. But basically, you just got to go to the A.C.B.A. Website, so articulatedcomicbookart.com. And you'll see that. So you have until 11:59 tonight to get in on that, and I guess tomorrow we'll announce the winner, either tomorrow or Tuesday. And follow us on Instagram at Articulated Comic Book Art. Come join us in the Facebook group, and just remember that when you're on Facebook, there are two A.C.B.A. destinations. There is the fan page, which you should like, and then there is the group, which you should request to join. And you are on my channel now. I've been working on a new main course. I've been working on a couple things. I'll probably put out an appetizer maybe this week as well. Working on a lot of stuff, shooting a lot of stuff. So thanks for hanging out with us. And Mr. Crackers is on you.
Oh, they call me Colonel Crackers on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and Steam. You can catch me on the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network with Mr. El Sinestro. We do a show this Wednesday called What's Worth Watching, and if you liked our discussion just now on Stranger Things a little bit, then tune in for our next episodes. We're getting heavy into Stranger Things, as well as this other show that I'm into called Scream on MTV, and it's a total cheese fest, but I love it. Other than that, come check out the Comic Bug here in SoCal, all your comic and figure needs. I know for a fact they're going to be getting the X-Men Legends next week, so if you're in SoCal, that's one destination to get them. Pharaoh Black's taking all the Deadpools, though, so they might not have that one. Rick?
All right.
Emiya?
Emiya, sign us out, man, if you're there, and if not, then I'll just take over the duty.
Oh, I am Emiya Starlock. Starlock on Instagram. My partner in crime is Rick Dom and so Rick Cable2345 on Instagram. And we have been absent from our show because of convention season. But we will probably return, I'm thinking, this week. We will be discussing Wonderfest, San Diego Comic-Con. So you guys definitely want to check that out. We'll also probably be discussing the Hong Kong show as well. I have a couple of special guests that might be on this episode, but might not be. But either way, I will be doing a special interview with these guests. They're actually more on the research and development side. More so than on the PR side, which is the people I normally interview. So it'll be very interesting. If you guys want to check that out, it'll be on Import in Action channel on YouTube. The show is JPI TV The Live, and we will have that episode up. We'll probably have an episode up probably sometime this week. Yeah, sometime this week. Not sure exactly when. I have a lot of stuff leftover work I have to do from that I have carried over from San Diego Comic-Con, and I actually just got back. So yeah, that's basically it. Rick, Dom, do you have anything to say?
Boom. Watch both of our shows. If we do a wrestling one again, check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it out.
Also,
Don't worry.
don't forget, we're also going to have, well, you guys will just see. All right, you got me, Nana!
Oh, I forgot to plug one thing, though. So while I was at Comic-Con, I did a series of interviews with, a bunch of people I mentioned at the top of the show. We're going to be releasing those interviews kind of staggered out throughout the week, leading up to the next episode of A.C.B.A. Saturday, which will have the Hasbro interview, which I know is the one people want to see the most, so we're going to put it on A.C.B.A. Saturday. But throughout the week, we'll just be releasing a few standalone interviews, probably on the A.C.B.A. community channel. So stay tuned for that, and big shout-out to Dallas James helping me out with that.
Actually, I have one more shout out I need to do. I see him in the audience. RG Bats 97 was a huge help to me at San Diego Comic Con, helping me to acquire some exclusives. And I want to thank him personally very much for helping me. And yeah, that's it. RG Bats 97, I believe that's his name.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I don't want to say his real name.
He's always tuning in and always around, man. Shout out to him.
Oh yeah.
And shout out to everybody in the audience for contributing. Great chat. Lots of good discussion.
Didn't somebody else help you out and meet up with you and you gave them a ticket or something? Or was that him?
That was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he wants his real name out there, but shout out to him.
All right.
He just said, no problem. It was great, bro.
Thank you very much.
Until next week, y'all. Peace.
See ya.
Sunday.